It is SSC versus Malle Cricket Club, and what a final it promises to be. We do know that the SSC is a very strong outfit and they have done exceptionally well. There are so many known names in that SSC lineup, including some national cricketers, but Malle CC has been an unknown quantity. They have surprised quite a few, and in fact they've surprised themselves with the way they have played, and they have rightfully earned this place in the final. And that's a look at the Coles cricket ground. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. It's been renovated, some new additions to the ground, and it is looking immaculate, and it is very impressive. As I say, a very good morning to Gamini Pereira.
Very good morning, Roshan. Very good morning, everyone. Yeah, what a fabulous day for a game of cricket. And yeah, like you said, the unknown quantity, Colombo Malle is taking on the Giants, as you could say. But both sides have a lot to play for. Obviously, Malle playing in a grand final for the very first time, and SSC, they've got a score to settle.
Right, so it's always very important that we take a look at the surface. Kosala Suresh Chandra was out there taking a close look at the Coles surface a little while earlier.
Today is the day where we'll find out who the champions of the major club T20 Tier B tournament would be. Looking at the sky, it's got a few clouds around, but it looks a good day for cricket. And looking at the outfield, it looks really lush green. I have 70 meters to my right and 65 meters to my left. So if you're a right-hand batter batting at this end, you might feel that is the area that I would like most to clear the boundary. Well, looking at the surface, it looks a very hard surface, and it looks rock solid. There is a little bit of darkness here and there, but I feel that might have been the sweating that came from the covers that were laid down overnight. But all in all, it looks a good wicket for batting. It's hard, it looks brown, and it looks with very little grass on it. So the captain winning the toss might feel that they want to bowl first. But mind you, this is a T20 game, and the captains might feel that having a score on the board in a final might have an advantage. And looking at a past score, I would say that we're looking at something around 170.
Kosala Suresh Chandra, and now let's go across for the all-important toss. Haritha Pereira is out there with the two captains and the match referee.
Day for cricket. We are here for the toss out in the middle. We've got our match referee Ajit Vasantha. Our standby umpire is Shukri Wahid. The coin is with the SSC skipper Avishka Fernando. The call by Colombo Malle's captain Sudara Dakshina. Tails call. Sudara, මුලින්ම අපේ සුබපැතුම් අවසන් තරගයට සුදුසුකම් ලබා ගත්තාට කාසිය වාසිය දින ගත්තා. මොකද කරන්නේ?
අපි මුලින්ම පන්දු යැවීම තීරණය කරනවා. මොකද අපි අඩු සංඛ්‍යාවකට SSC කණ්ඩායම තීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
ඔබ තරුණ කණ්ඩායමක් නායකත්වය ලබා දීලා ඉතාමත් හොඳ තරඟාවලියකට මුහුණ දීලා ප්‍රබල ප්‍රතිවාදී කණ්ඩායමකට මුහුණ දෙන්නේ. කණ්ඩායමක් හැටියට ඔබ කොහොමද මේ අවසන් තරගයේ සැලැස්ම හදාගත්තේ?
ඇත්තම අපේ කණ්ඩායම වශයෙන් අපි අන්තිම තරගය දක්වා අපි හොඳ සැලැස්මක් තිබ්බා. මොකද තරුණ කණ්ඩායමක් ඉන්න under 20 පේස්ලා ඉන්නවා. මම හිතන්නේ අපේ 6ක් නියෝජනය කරනවා. ඒ කණ්ඩායමත් එක්ක ටීම් කණ්ඩායම එකමුතුකමත් එක්ක අපි දිග්ගම අන්තිම තරගයේ හොඳ තරගයක් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
හරි, අපි සුබපතනවා හොඳ තරගයක් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
Thank you sir.
අවිෂ්ක කාසිය වාසිය දින්න නම් තත්ත්වය වෙනස් වෙයිද?
ඔව් අපිත් ඇත්තටම ෆීල් කරන්න හිටියේ. හැබැයි ඉතින් විකට් එක හොඳයි කියලා පේනවා. ඉතින් බලමු.
මේ තනතිරුව දැක්කහම ඔබට hina යන්න ඕනේ. හරි, ප්‍රබල කණ්ඩායමක්, අත්දැකීම් බහුල කණ්ඩායමක්. නමුත් සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයට යම් ප්‍රමාණයක පීඩනයක් ඇති කියලා මට හිතෙනවා. තරගය ජය ගන්න නෙමෙයි, ඉතා හොඳින් ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න.
ඔව් ඇත්තටම ටූර්නමන්ට් එක මේ ටූර්නමන්ට් පටන් ගන්නකොට පොඩි ප්‍රෙෂර් එකක් තිබුණා. මොකද අපේ ඇත්තටම හොඳ කණ්ඩායමක් ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් අවසනාවට අපි TB එකට ආවා ගිය අවුරුද්දේ. ඉතින් අපි මොන ටූර්නමන්ට් එකක ක්‍රීඩා කරත් ඇත්තටම අපේ පර්ෆෝමන්ස් වලට තමයි ඉතින් ඒක බලපාන්නේ. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා අපි මේ ටූර්නමන්ට් එක හොඳට කරා. ඉතින් තව එක මැච් එකක් විතරයි. ඉතින් අපි ඒකත් හොඳට කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
Right, so that's a story from the middle Malle's cricket club. winning the toss, has no hesitation in bowling first. That's a very interesting call, Gamini, because we do know that sometimes T20 cricket means that runs on the board, scoreboard pressure, and you try to defend. And especially up against a side like the SSC, where you're up against a very strong batting lineup. But let's see, here's the first ball coming up in this grand final between the SSC and Malle Cricket Club, and straight away taken at mid-on. Malle strikes. They get a wicket with the very first delivery.
Yeah, great start. Actually, because of some technical difficulties, we missed the first 3 deliveries, Roshan. But what a start this. Pitched up. Yeah, that shot shows me that this pitch is holding up a touch, and still, it's a great catch. You got to take it, and that's a very good dive. And well, you couldn't have asked for a better start as far as Colombo Malleys are concerned. They've got this prize wicket of Krishan Sanjula, who's been up there when it comes to the batters chart, and well, already 1 for 1.
A great start by Malle. I mean, we spoke about obviously Malle being the underdogs, because we do know that the SSC is here with a star-studded side, and Dasun Shanaka comes out. That's might be quite ominous from a Malle point of view. Dasun Shanaka, who comes with a massive reputation of being able to clear the boundary easily. He's a T20 specialist, so to speak. But Gamini, it's a new day, it's a new challenge. You're only as good as what you were in the past. It's a completely new opportunity here, and here is Shanaka facing. Gets a bit of bounce, gets off the mark. This is good running. Oh, good running, good work. Very sharp in the field. I think one thing about the Malay side is they're very sharp in the field.
They look pretty young, don't they, Malle? I'll tell you what, that looks closer than you think. That's not the way to ground your bat if you're watching it at home, if you're a youngster. So they can be the coach killers at times, Roshan. Yeah, you called about Dasun Shanaka. You can call him a well-oiled machine these days, isn't he, when it comes to T20 cricket? And yeah, surprising that he's batting at number 3. But having said that, SSC looking to take the early initiative. Oh, nicely bowled. Yeah, you popped up the question about batting first or second. Modern day T20 cricket, Roshan, I think once you see that wicket is not going to deteriorate over the course of 40 overs, you really don't know when you go to bat first sizable total or good enough total, particularly when you play against hierarchy opposition like SSC. So that might be one reason why Colombo Malleys opted to field first.
Yeah, there are lots of thoughts. There could be lots of permutations, but well, the decision seemed to have paid off. Nicely driven. And will this go all the way? Fielded in the deep. Couple of runs. Just leaning into it, but a very good first over for the Malays. They've got a wicket in the first over and just conceded 3 runs. Just the start they wanted. In fact, it's 4 for 1.
Yeah, they would have taken that. 1 down for 4 runs after the first over, particularly after sending them in. Yeah, the calls SC. This is turned out to be a nice venue end of the day. Roshan, a lot of infrastructure and nice pavilion, and they've brought up this this facility up to a fairly high standard, haven't they? The Coles Cricket Club.
Well, I think they should be congratulated. They have done a brilliant job, without any doubt at all. And indeed, it's truly magnificent. Just to remind you that this is a production by Capital Network, powered by ThinkCube, together with Quadrangle and Rumex, bringing you the action of this first game, or the final of this Tier B T20, domestic T20, which is a great boost for cricketers. Starts off with a short ball and thumped and good fielding. I'll tell you what, I watched Malle play in the semi-final, and they overcame a fairly tough challenge against Ragamasisi. But I put it down to their outstanding fielding that cut off a lot of runs. There was 200 runs for the taking, but they fielded brilliantly. Dasun Shanaka again just can't get that past the man at backward point. This is brilliant cricket.
Yeah, we mentioned about that off-air, didn't we, Roshan? The edge that these youngsters have over some of these experienced cricketers, energy and the skill when it comes to fielding, and it's a big part in this format. And already they've shown a few times now in this. We've been 8 balls so far, and nearly a run out once again. Yeah, off spin. So spin pace combination. Vikramasinghe, I'll tell you what, 3 balls, 3 short balls, dragged his length all 3 times. He was very lucky to get away with it, and there was boundary written all over it, but straight to the fielder once again.
Yeah, these are precious dot balls in the... That's better, that's better, that's more like it. Well, let's just see a little bit tentative here. You could see that. Chamindra Vikramasinghe been tied down with some good bowling, and so far it's been a good over. The off spinner starting off. Just conceded a single. See, I think the battle here would be the experience of the SSC lineup and the youthful exuberance of Malle, because I know it's a youthful side. They're very excited. They're I think over the moon that they've reached a final. So it's that to me is the battle here, Gamini.
They've done their homework too. They've got the 2 fielders on the onside for Dasun Shanaka. Once again dragged his length, but just a run on the onside. So 2 good overs to start for Colombo Malle. Yeah, you said that. It's funny, this game of cricket, Roshan, as you would know. When you play against these unknown quantities, unknown players, you know, you really don't know how to sometimes. And you know, one wise man told me once, it's easy to play this game when you're not known. And
Well,
once you are known with modern day technologies these days, with the video analysis and with all these ways that they come at you, and you need to have that part of your brain to calculate and to try to regroup and come with another strategy. But it's always dangerous playing with unknown players.
Absolutely right. Because see, as you said, in the era of AI and matchups and all that, everything about your opponents is before you. It's an open book. But as you correctly said, when you're playing against teams like this, you don't know what to expect. You take it as it comes, you know. So Malle, to me, on that count, is at a huge advantage. Yeah, unless the SSC have done their homework and gone and watched some of the Malle games. But so far, Malle seem to have done well. This is Malshan. And straight away, he's found good lines and lengths. I must tell you that he's got a very nice action. As a coach, I'll let you comment. Very rhythmic, nice action, strong action, good follow through. And he's hitting those areas. And he's bowling around that off stump and really hitting Dasun Shanaka's bat hard.
Yeah, the key word that you mentioned is rhythmic. When it comes to fast bowlers, you need to have a rhythmic, accelerating run-up. And he's got that, hasn't he? And he's got a good front hand and front leg. He braced through his front leg. He's got that rock back. Yeah, he's good to the eye, his action. Malshan already 1 for 5. On the up, Vikramasinghe. They normally trust to bat down the order, and because he's a very hard hitter of the ball, isn't he, Vikramasinghe? Already shown what he can do at the elite level for Sri Lanka in this format, and even 50 over, didn't he?
Yeah, he's opened at under 19 level, I know that, and he opened in that A-team series in Abu Dhabi, so he's no stranger to opening the batting. So I like this move. I mean, it's always good to have an all-rounder opening the batting. It gives you so much of options when it comes to the final combination or balance of the team. You have somebody at the top opening the batting, and then he could also run in and bowl seam rather than batting him at number 6 or 7. So on the pads, see one thing, I mean, I don't want to talk too early, but I've seen Malle play one game. That was the semi-final, and one thing that impressed me a lot was their fielding. And so far, in this short time, I've seen the Malle fielders throwing themselves around and really cutting off a lot of runs, and that's a good sign in a T20 game. You need that. And you spoke about a young side, and this side seemed to be carrying the right ingredients when it comes to a T20 game.
Oh,
on the full. Now these catches need to be taken. You don't let Dasun Shanaka a second chance. Now what has happened here? We've seen some untidy cricket. He's not just dropped a catch, but he's also given away 4 runs. See, these are little things in a game that can turn out to be decisive.
Oh, it's a massive moment. Driven upishly. Once again, reminds me of that first dismissal. This pitch looks to me that it's holding up a touch. Was it full top, was it? Yeah, and yeah, that was a massive chance, and that's all to the wound. You give extra 4 runs to your opponent. Yeah, that's. You mentioned about these youngsters. You know, the other thing is they've got nothing to lose. It's funny when you don't have the fear of failure in your head when you play against big sides, and everyone expects SSC to come out winners in this game, but. Well, that was a golden opportunity. Oh, out!
This time
Out.
they're asking and given. Chamidu Wickramasinghe goes. He's gone. And the Malles have struck. They've got wicket number 2.
Yeah, there was width and length. Not a lot of feet from Wickramasinghe. Wow, what a start. Well, if you are a Colombo Malle supporter, well,
been rocked quite early. Wickets lost. And both wickets to this man. He's turning out to be very, very challenging. Dasun Shanaka, he's at the non-strikers and came in at number 3. Dinura Kalupahana is the new batter. He comes out with SSC struggling at the moment. Into the 3rd over. Gamini. Malle so far, barring that catch of Dasun Shanaka, has done everything perfectly. They've held on to catches, they bowled good lines and lengths, they've fielded brilliantly. So Kalupahana on strike. On the pads, worked away on the leg side. Just a single. They've got their fielders in very good positions, I must say. End of the over. 3 overs done. SSC 15 for 2.
yeah, great start. Yep, 2 for 14, and this was the second wicket. 2 for 15. Yeah, this was the second one. Yeah, Roshan, I'll tell you what. being unpredictable as possible in T20 cricket. SSC have done that. They've changed their batting order. They've expected Avishka Fernando to come early. Some of the better technically equipped batters to be up there when it comes to T20, but decided to open with Wickramasinghe and Krishan Sanjula. Both are back in the pavilion. Now a youngster, Kalupahana, looks very good on the eye, this lad. But changing the bowling, left arm orthodox from the Havelock end.
See, one thing about Malays is that they've got a good bowling lineup, good bowling makeup with a lot of left arm spinners. It's bowling to a slip. And you could see that they're quite the perfect article for T20 cricket. They're not the type that would, at least most of the spinners are not the type that would look to go over the top, look to bowl with a bit of energy, but instead they look to fire the ball in, bowl it quicker, keep just adjusting lines and lengths.
Yeah, just prior to that ball, Roshan, there was a change in the field. Mid-wicket drop back to the fence. Mid-on is up in the circle, so they've done their homework, haven't they? Obviously, Malle. Like I said, they've got nothing to lose against some of these well-known cricketers in this format. Shanaka, you mentioned about a few left-arm spinners in their ranks. Now they've got the luxury to even to operate left-armers from either side because the two right-handers on strike. But I'll tell you what, this decision to field first, once I've seen that last 2.5 overs, I don't know whether it's the correct decision. I'll tell you what, this wicket is holding up a touch.
It is. It's interesting to see. See, that's where the experience comes into. That's why I said SSC batters would size up the surface very early. They would go in with a plan. They would be telling themselves, all right, let's go for 160 or 200. But then, outside the line. So then, as soon as you start hitting the ball, as soon as you start feeling the ball on the bat, as you said, wicket holding up, they'll be making those adjustments and maybe telling themselves, no, we're not looking at 200. Let's look at maybe 150 or 160. That's the score we want to be aiming at. He's looking to angle it into the pads. Left arm round the wicket. That's a good over. Over number 5, is it? Over number 4. 17 for 2.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් සංවිධානය කරන අන්තර් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජ දෙවන පෙළ 2020 ක්‍රිකට් තරඟාවලිය 2025 කණ්ඩායම් 12ක් තරඟ වැදුණා. මේ අවසන් තරඟය පැවැත්වෙන්නේ කොළඹ කෝල්ස් ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ හැව්ලොක් පිටියේ. කාසිය වාසිය දිනා ගැනීමෙන් අනතුරුව මුලින් පන්දු යැවීමට තීරණය කරා කොළඹ මැලේ ක්‍රිකට් සමාජය. ප්‍රබල සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා සමාජය මේ වන විට යම් ප්‍රමාණයක පීඩනයකට ලක් වී තිබෙනවා. ආරම්භක ප්‍රතිකරුවන් දෙදෙනාම දැවී ගොස් තිබෙන්නේ. ලකුණු 17යි කඩලු 2යි. තිමිර මල්ෂාන් කඩලු දෙකම දවා ගත්තා. සුබෝදෑසනක් කෝසල සුරේෂ් චන්ද්‍ර.
සුබෝදෑසනක් හරිත. And yes, it's been fantastic. Malle has been the surprise package in this tournament, and they are living up to that expectation that they come into the final beating top teams, especially beating Ragam in that semi-final. And today they put SSC on the back foot from the start.
Yeah, tremendous comeback twice with the ball and with the bat. Colombo Malle Cricket Club. Massive. That is what is expected from these proven strikers.
Now that was in the zone. We all know what Dasun Shanaka can do when it's in that zone. Take a look at this again. Right underneath it. Good follow through. Watched the ball very late and then picked it up. The hand-eye coordination is fantastic. Now this is what SSC would want Dasun Shanaka to do. Try and maximize this batting power play or the power play of 6 overs. But I do give credit to the bowler. He's done so well so far, and this is the first time he's earned.
Yeah, in that semi-final where they chased 170 against Ragam, the bowler, Timira Malchan, he was the one with the bat who was doing the talking. Blasted his way to an unbeaten 40 plus to take them through with 3 balls remaining and 3 wickets in hand to earn their place into the final. Yeah. On the other end is Avishka Fernando, the Sinhalese Sports Club skipper. He's at the highest individual score of 118 not out against Sebastianites. He has the highest aggregate of 191 runs for SSC. So these two, yes, they need to have a good partnership.
Good comeback. Now, what is SSC looking for from this point onward? That will be the key. I would say anything beyond 150 will be challenging in a final, especially for a team like Malle. They don't have that real experience. So scoreboard pressure might be telling on them. So they will want to try and keep SSC under that 150 mark. On the other hand, SSC will want to surpass that.
In the air. Caught. 3 for Timira Malchan. Oh. Not too quick, not too short. Earned.
Well, that's the price wicket. That's a big wicket. T20 specialist Dasun Shanaka miscuing one, and it was well taken. Eyes on the ball, kept it, made sure that he got things covered. SSC lose their third at the total at 23, and that of the big Dasun Shanaka. A lot will now depend on their skipper, who's just making his entry into the centre. But SSC on the back foot. We're into over number 5. Malchan's picked up all 3 scalps to fall. It's 23 for 3.
See the story with Colombo Malle Cricket Club. They, in my mind, they represent the lesser known teams and the lesser known players. But they were champions last year in segment B, T20. So 14 matches in 2 years, they're unbeaten.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, the skipper, I was having a chat with the skipper. He's familiar at Havelock Park. He is from Isipatana. This Timira Malchan, he's from Anand Sastralya Kotte.
Yeah, and I was told that they don't even have a proper ground for practice. This is very encouraging. Very encouraging. It's like an associate member coming and turning tables in a World Cup, Harita.
Don't go that far. See, I wanted to know from Avishka Fernando how many runs he would want to score as a team total, but he wasn't there.
There you go. That's the dismissal of Dasun Shanaka. It is not all that short. If you see how Dasun Shanaka went about it, the bat was always going up. So the moment that happened, Dasun Shanaka was not getting the distance on that. It was always going to be a skyrocket.
So that is the end of the 5th over. 23 for 3 SSC put into bat.
When you look at the batting lineup, Dasun Shanaka, Vikramasinghe, Dinura Kalupahana, well,
even Krishan Sanjula, one of the better run scorers in this tournament. Krishan Sanjula has scored 134 runs. He's 4th in the aggregate run scorers list.
He's just made 205. Avishka, the skipper, is here to get on the mark. They have Charita Asalanga to come in as well. So there's the 2 bad team, but they need a partnership here. They need a partnership. The skipper needs to lead from the front. Dinura Kalupana He's a very capable batter. It's a left-arm spin of Devinda. He had a very decent first over.
Yeah, he had taken 2 catches in the previous game. Chanaka Devinda. Dinura Kalupana, Sri Lanka under-19 skipper from Mahinda. Goal. Chanaka Devinda also is familiar here. He is from nearby Lumbini. It's a massive experience for these young cricketers to play against this top side.
And put them under pressure. Amazing. Fantastic.
And getting this opportunity to see them live, great initiative on the part of Sri Lanka cricket.
So if you're just joining this coverage from whichever part of Sri Lanka you're in, this is a production by Capital Networks and powered by ThinkCube, together with Quadrangle and Rumex, bringing you these live pictures from the Coast Cricket Club grounds. The major club's SLC Tier B T20 final. A single will get Fernando off the mark.
Pulasti Atapattu from Kagol Vidyalaya is keeping wickets. He's been good with the bat too for Colombo Malays. Wadiba Pereira, also an Isipatinian, is their head coach. The manager is Mohammad Falil Mohota from St. Thomas's Matale. And then cricket secretary is Harun Musafar.
This is good. This is very good from Devinda. Just the 2 runs coming off the last of the power play overs. They've done extremely well. Colombo Malays to restrict SSC to 26 for 3.
So power play, 26 runs and top 3 wickets down for SSC. SSC coached by Malinda Pushpamara, former Anand and Sri Lanka cricketer. Manager Sudarshan Guruge, who played his cricket school in Kurunagala, Malayadeva. Then the cricket secretary is the veteran Ashan De Silva. He must be a concerned individual right now, Kosala.
Very much. So this is what happened in the power play. Krishan Sanjula was the first to be dismissed.
Skipper Dakshina holding on to a brilliant catch.
And then Chamudita was out behind and then
Chaminda, you mean?
Chamidu, yep. And Dasan Chanaka just having that 6. So, but we are back live. Push for 1, they're coming back for the second. They do it quite comfortably.
Because of the fumble. Good to attack the fielder.
Now this is what they need to be doing, Haritha. They need to start working the singles, not look at the boundaries, try to build this partnership. Maybe the next 3 overs where they want to be, maybe somewhere around 40, 45, and then try to take it from that point onwards. It's got to be a mathematical game now where SSC is concerned.
Yeah, Kavisha Satsara played his cricket at the PDS Kularatana College, Ambalangoda. So they've got attracted a few players from right around the country. That is what it's important. This is why I think their entry into the final is so important for those individuals who want to play some competitive cricket. Again, good line and length. Nothing given away.
Good all-round cricket, Haritha. Good delivery. Very well pushed away on the offside by Fernando, the skipper. And well run as well. Not a bad bit of fielding, but the batter is a little bit quicker than the fielder.
Ajit Vasanta is match referee. Deepal Gunawardana together with Ranganath Prasanna on-field umpires. Shukri Wahid is the standby umpire. For SSC, Roshan Gunaratna is the scorer with Kamal Pereira for Colombo Malays Cricket Club at the scoreboard. Helping us is Chamara Disanayaka, keeping track of the match.
31 for 3. How do you keep a track of all these names, Haritha?
Yeah. You have been commentating with me for so long. So I've been pushing for these live coverages of domestic cricket for so long. Well bowled, great over. 7 completed. SSC 32 for 3.
Going at just a fraction over 4 runs and over, but that concern is the fall of wickets, that wicket column. 3 down, and when your top 3 are down, that's a concerning factor. Especially a batter like Dasun Shanaka and Chaudita back in the pavilion, your big hitters. That's a challenge.
You're talking Chamudita.
Chamud, sorry. 32 for 3. So we're having a change in the bowling.
Now that's Viraj.
That's a known name, a known figure when it comes to cricket in Sri Lanka.
See, in that quarter-final against United Southern, Sigley Sports Club did struggle getting to 136 for 7 to win that game by 3 wickets. But 136 for 7? A bit vulnerable. They have plenty of batting to come though.
Change in the bowling. It's Dakshita, another left-armer.
This is the skipper.
And he is a wrist left-armer.
Sudhara Dakshina.
Now this one he bowled it the normal way.
He'll mean business. He has been involved with Sri Lankan Navy cricket before getting involved with Colombo Malays. Great opportunity to lead this side to so many victories. He'll be looking forward to the 3-day game too. The one days comes up after this.
The one day starts on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? Yeah.
Soon after the Tier A final, which is on the 15th. 36 for 3 at the moment. Now they look for runs here. Was there any batting ball in that? It's been just dragged in. Good effort.
Brilliant. Saved a couple of runs.
They should have run 3 there, however. They should have run 3. Expecting the ball to cross the line. They took it casually. Let's take a look at this again.
Who was taking it casual? If it was Dinara Kalupahana, well, he saw enough of it.
Yeah. They should have run 3. Last ball of the over coming up. Now, SSC wouldn't mind. They picked up 6 runs in that over to get them to 38-3 at the end of the 8th.
Thank you, Kosala and Haritha. Kalupahana on 10. Fernando on 5. SSC, after being invited to bat first, are 38 for 3 after 8 overs, and current rate 4.75. We've all seen the first 8 overs. It's not the quickest pitch you'll ever see, but it's dry. So what type of a score is good enough for this grand final? It all depends on this batting pair, Kalupahana and Fernando. You expect boundaries, you expect to see boundaries and big hits. in a T20. But so far, in 8.1 overs, Mr. Roshan Abesinghe, we've seen 1-6.
Yeah, that tells you the complexion of the surface, which you summed up, where it's holding up a little bit. It's not the best surface to bat on, I must say. I take nothing away from the conditions. It's brilliant conditions. The sun is out, but I feel that it's not really coming on to the bat, so timing hasn't been all that easy. So this is where experienced teams, they tend to make that adjustment. They change gears. So now you could see that this pair of batters. Now this is a stage, Gamini, we all know that T20 cricket gets broken down to those little phases. So you talk about the power play, so which is the first 6 overs, and then you play the next 6 overs a little bit more cautiously and try and get into a position where you don't try to over attack, but you get into a solid position. Then to me, 13th, 14th, 15th are overs that you're looking to set the tone. And the last 5 overs are going to be critical. So I'm just wondering whether Kalupahana and Avishka Fernando are just setting themselves up with singles without taking too much of risk.
That was not called a wide. That was on the leg side, wasn't it? Oh, I just brushed the pad. Once again, very well done. Going to his right. Created doubt on the batter's mind. That's very good. Saved a run. After 9 overs, 41, 42 for 3. Yeah, you mentioned how you pace your innings when it comes to T20 cricket, and also depends on your opposition, the overs that certain bowlers have, and certain batters that you have. And in this case, Kalupahana and Fernando both being right-handers, they'll be a bit more conservative when it comes to the left-arm spinners, so they'll try and stay on them. Maybe run a ball, like you said, but they will target a certain bowler at some stage.
See, another thing, when you have spinners bowling, and when you're not conceding those boundaries, when you're getting through your overs quickly or just doing it with singles and dots, they'll want to get through their overs quickly. So that's a ploy, because and what happens is that when the spinners from both ends, they just bowl economically and bowl quickly, the batters sometimes lose track of the number of overs, and they'll suddenly realize that they've lost about 3 or 4 overs, and the opponents have got away with it quite cheaply. So this is what Malle is doing in a masterly fashion here, though this is in the air. But again, the timing. See, this guy, I saw him bowl yesterday, Gamini. He's a very clever operator. He mixes it up. He generally bowls with a bit of energy, but he looks for the loop. He doesn't fire the ball in, but he tends to play around with his line and length. See, that's what I'm talking about. Push through quicker, but he's not going to get a reward here. He's going to get a boundary. The batter, because that was fired in a little bit quicker. This game doesn't do justice to good deliveries.
Yeah, the quicker delivery, you're very unlucky. Just a second boundary in this innings for SSC. Kalupahana, a budding talent. He's been part of the Sri Lankan under-19 setup for some time now, and slower this time. Yeah, like you said, he likes to mix up. Dakshina. So a small little partnership brewing for SSC, which they needed. That single brought up the 50. We are just 1 ball away from the halfway mark, Roshan. Yeah, quicker delivery. He certainly mixes up, doesn't he? 50 for 3 after 10.
Excuse me, graphics Varadi shows power play number 1. It's not power play number 1. Power play number 50 for 3. This is a time of building, rebuilding for the SSC. So they're left with 60 legitimate deliveries. Now that's a lot of deliveries when it comes to a T20 game, Gamini. But again, as you said, it depends on where the game is, what the surface is, and what your opponents are looking to do. So at the moment, Malays are all over the SSC. They pin them back. They bowl some really good lines and lengths. They've asked a lot of questions. The spinners have been brilliant with their control. Going to see some left arm spin continued. And it's been the timing, isn't it? And that tells you, as we said, the surface holding up a little bit, the ball not coming onto the bat. So you could see that the spinners are looking to loop it a little bit more. They're looking to search for something off the track rather than firing the ball in. So that has been a challenge for the batters.
Yeah, like you said, a skill that you will require on a surface like this is to vary your speed without changing your arm speed. It makes it hell of a lot difficult for a batter because you need to get close to drive the ball, you need to get underneath it. But if you get the ball to drop just above from your eye level, just like that, you have to adjust. Sometimes wait. The point of impact is on a wicket like this, either you get so close to the ball or you play it right back. And yeah, oh, that's nicely bowled. That is nicely bowled and got him. Yeah, looking to play across the line, breaking his wrist too early. Well, the teammates are late. The decision to bat first, Roshan Abesingh so far has vindicated that decision, I'll tell you that. Look at this. Yes, seam upright. That was the arm ball, the one finger. Well, good night, nurse. You don't have to have a second look at that.
Yeah, this is the frustration. I think this is clever bowling by the Malay spinners. SSC have lost their 4th wicket, courtesy the build-up, the pressure, the dots. Charita Lanka, the next batter, he's coming in rather late in the order, but coming in at number 11. Now he is quite used to situations like this. He's got Avishka Fernando to partner him. Now this is a critical phase in the game, because if Asalanka can get away to a flyer, he can take on the left arm spinners. Now that's going to be spelling trouble for Malays. But on the other hand, if I'm stating the obvious, you get rid of Asalanka quickly. Malays are almost through to the lower half or the second half of SSC batting. So I consider this next 2 to 3 overs a defining moment of this game. Yes, Malays may be on top, SSC may be 52 for 4, but they certainly have enough firepower to come back when you have players like Charita Asalanka coming in at number 6 and left arm spinners bowling.
Yeah, we all know how explosive Asalanka can be, and you can't call it a tactical decision. Normally he bats up, doesn't he, Asalanka? And interesting to see he took his off-stump guard as he came in. So obviously he's looking to cover his thumbs, and can be a good ploy on a wicket like this. You don't show the stumps to the spinner or the bowler, bowling from over the wicket. Gets off the mark.
And Gamini also, it's for SSC they would prefer a right hand left hand combination with 2 left arm spinners bowling. With 2 left arm spinners bowling to right handers, they take the ball away and they can mix it up. But to a left arm spinner, to a left hander, that's a completely different ball game altogether. 11 overs completed. It's a very fine over from Satsara, 53 for 4.
Yeah, it has been all Colombo Malle so far. Roshan, you know, sometimes when you come to a grand final against such a high riding opposition, you know, it's interesting to see how they exploit the conditions. But so far, they have done immaculately well. I'll tell you what, their bowlers have bowled good lengths. This is why they've picked up 4 wickets. That's the first. Nicely caught at mid-on. Malchan was terrific in that early piece. Bottom edge. Vikramasinghe was out. Yeah, that was very nice bowling. The ball before that was a slower delivery. And that was a nice one as well. Arm ball. This is back live. Lanka gets another single.
Yeah, I think they got some quality spinners and a nice seam bowler who started off proceedings, ran in and bowled quickly, spoke about the rhythm that he carries. But I think this game still has a lot of cricket left. We are into over number 12 and we're looking at what? 48 legitimate deliveries. Now the question will be, SSC, at what point will they look to try and take the bull by the horn, to try and go after the bowling? So at the moment I believe this is their strategy. They might want to bat like this, maybe up to about the 15th over. So you get to a 15th over, now that is what, 4 overs from here? They got 55 for 4. So maybe you get to 75-80 in 15 overs. We're going at less than a run a ball. And then the last 30 legitimate deliveries with wickets in hand, that slight turn and bounce, you can be looking at about 50 runs of the last 5 overs. So 130, 140 appears to be what they're aiming at the moment. Oh, what about that? What about that? Well, aiming 130 or 140 seemed to be something of a distant target for the SSC, because Charit Asalanka has been done by a truly brilliant delivery. Played for turn. That went straight through with the arm and pushed through quicker. He was caught in the crease, and this is outstanding bowling.
That's an absolute ripper, that one. You know, as a left-hander, you only hope that you'll never get a ball like that. When you're coming from round the wicket, one needs to pick the speed out of the hand. He did not pick that because he was, like you said, he was stuck on the crease. Then there was a bit of drift, so his front foot was stuck in one place, and then I think it held on its line just a touch to beat that outside. It's an absolute pearl of that one. Well, he will remember that for a very long time. That bowler getting Charit Asalanka with an absolute beauty.
Yeah, look who's here, Nuwanadu Fernando. Now this is a bit of a baffling lineup for me, Gamini, this batting order. Yes, the SSC have looked to try and play some younger, lesser experienced players at the top, but they brought in Asalanka at number 6. Now Nuwanadu, another, not a seasoned campaigner, but someone with a lot of potential and someone who carries a reputation, coming in at number 7. So that can also speak of the depth they carry. But I sometimes wonder whether they've been put under a lot of pressure here with 5 wickets down. It curtails a normal batter. This is Asalanka. Look at his feet. He went nowhere. He just went nowhere. Played from where he was. He's clever, isn't he, this young man?
55 for 5 after 11, after 12.
I ළඟට ගිහින් දෙනවා විසික් කරන්න. Come on, Kavesh.
Now what does Avishka Fernando do from this point? How does he take it? We got 8 overs, we got 47 deliveries left in the SSC innings. They're going at 4.50 at the moment, 56 of 5. And Nuwanadu Fernando, it's 2 Fernandos now out there, both from St. Sebastian's College. in Morotua. I think played their cricket together during school days. So they will have to bring all those knowledge that they know to build up a partnership. Try and bat till the 18th over. A runner ball will still get them only to 100. So that will not work where SSC is concerned. They need to look at least 10 runs and over from this point.
They're capable, but what has been a total surprise is the application on the part of Colombo Malays.
They've done fantastic. They've done extremely well. Half of the SSC side back in the pavilion. With just over 50 runs been scored now. Avishka Fernando will hold the key where SSC is concerned. Short, but again, just a single.
See, one would like to think that SSC are novices in segment B. This is the second final straight final for Colombo Malays. As I said earlier, unbeaten through 14 games over 2 years, 2 seasons. What a big story.
And you see the way they bowl, Harith. They're not allowed, they're not given room, they're not given width to the batters. They bowl stump to stump. They not try to really spin the ball much. They just stick to their basics and doing a very good job at the moment. Last ball of this over. Short. Just a single again. Quick running. Good run.
The fielding drills have been done very well. Good pickup, good return, right out the bails. 13 completed. SSC put into bat 60 for 5 against Colombo Malays in this final.
Now looking at the surface, I thought that the surface had runs on it. Maybe 150 plus. But the way things have gone, the wickets held up a little bit. The ball's not really come on to the batter. Nothing taken away from what the Colombo Malays have bowled. They bowled extremely well. But now, if SSC might be feeling 130, might be a target that their bowlers can have a go at. They've got the experience in the bowlers. So, but to get to that 130, they need another 70 of the 7 overs. So that's 10 runs and over. Can they do it the way things are going? It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, unless they bowl badly or SSC bat brilliantly, phenomenally.
And has that just
very nearly. Ranganath Prasanna signals the boundary. Kosala, the second close one.
For a moment, the SSC camp might have had their hands in their mouth. But I thought I should placed it well enough to be wide of that fielder to pick up a very important ball. Good start to the over. A boundary of the first. Pressure on the bowler.
Yeah, he'll have to do extremely well. Kavinda Ishwara from Siri Piratana Paduka. Again, another lesser known team, but they've produced some good cricketers over the years.
Siri Piratana Paduka is one of the top schools in that region who play cricket, and they do produce some youngsters. But unfortunately, dot ball. The unfortunate fact is that when they identify players from that school from the young age, they've been brought into Colombo schools, and the Piratna team doesn't have a good first 11 side.
Desperation.
The dive might have helped Nuno Fernando to get in, but this is pressure now on SSC. Now, he went for a boundary in the first ball, but then look at the 2 deliveries. Come back well. Just a single. This is what they need. Let's take a look at this again. The dive coming in. Yes, he's home. Good decision.
Ranganath Prasanna was the umpire. But see, again, good pickup and return too. This is what you need. You got to do the drills well. to bring out those wonderful moments. Tremendous story this for Colombo Melees. This match shown live on Pure TV, on Dialogue TV, in Talent TV, right around the country. Major social media platforms too.
Just a single again. So just to add to that, Haritha, what you were referring to, this coverage is a production of Capital Network and powered by ThinkCube, and together with Quadrangle and Rumex, and it's been shown on channel 22 of the Pure TV and channel 47, or rather on Pure Sports, and on channel 63 of Dialogue.
Nuanidha Fernando, second boundary of the over. Slightly on the leg side, and a great response from Nuanidha Fernando.
This is what SSC need. Wasn't a bad ball, Haritha. It wasn't a bad ball, but this is the experience of Nuanidha Fernando putting it exactly where they wanted. This is a good over. They got 9 of it so far.
Well ball. I think they managed to send in 2 dot balls in that over.
3 to be precise. 69 for 5, SSC. 14 done.
Just looking back at this tournament, the highest individual scorer is Avishka Fernando, the SSC skipper, against Sebastian Knight. He scored 180, not all the only 100 in the tournament. Some other good batting performances: Vairumanta of Navy, 79, Lizula Lakshan of Gaul, 67, Purna Charuka of Navy, 66, Nipun Dhananjaya of SSC, 62, Buddhika Hasaranga of Malle CC in this game, 61.
Nipun Dhananjaya is currently in the West Indies.
Yeah.
With the Sri Lankan emerging side.
Kusal Mendes is not playing because of his test call-up.
They will take it nevertheless, not where Fernando would have expected that to go. A healthy outside edge will take it to the boundary. SSC will take it nevertheless. Let's take a look at that again. He was going for somewhere around cover and extra cover, but it got an outside edge and it just ran away to the boundary. This outfielder, mind you, is very fast. And there's very little opportunity that you could chase and stop anything. Good start to the over again. Good comeback, good comeback. Slowing it up through there. The earlier one is quicker. This one is much slower from Devinder. He's into his third over. Just 9 runs off it so far. Short. Just a single again.
This is great work. Again, Chanaka Devinder from the opposite end from where he started. The highest wicket take in the tournament, Upul Indrasiri, the Ragama skipper. He took 3 of the last match. Gone, 6 down. Oh, Nuanidha Fernando. Last of the recognized national players for SSC in this side.
Well. Big wicket. This is what pressure has been telling. Colombo Malles have really done well. 74 for 6, SSC.
Timira Malchan adding to his 3 wickets, picking up the catch. This is going to be really tough Kavindu Nadishan, good all-rounder from Dharmasuka College, Ambalangoda. Joining his skipper. He's captained the side very well without much fuss. Sudhara Dakshina leading Colombo Malle's, picking up wickets, keeping the opposition under pressure.
Now what does Kavindu do here? From a SSC perspective, Haritha, what can they do from here? They got 3 balls in this over remaining. Support your skipper. Let the skipper do the run making. That's right. Pick up the single. Get Fernando back on strike. Because Fernando has looked the far better batter who's understood this pitch well so far.
A lot of responsibility on him. I believe he should bat till the end.
This is the dismissal of Nuinda Fernando trying to go over the top, but only succeeding in a catch of third man. They go through for a quick single.
They need the boundaries and they are not getting it.
6 of the over with the wicket. 15 done. 76 for 6.
I was talking about the wicket takers. Army has 3 of them in the top 4. Lilan Rangana 11, Tikshana Vikramasinghe 10 and Gayan Chandrabose 9. And there are 4 bowlers who have picked up 9 wickets. Amita Kaushalya goal, Kavin Rukshan goal, and Chamindu Vikramasinghe playing in this game has also picked up 9 wickets through their 6 games. Bit cloudy, a bit gloomy.
No threat of rain. And it's going to be the skipper.
Jatis, the curator at Colombo Coles, where Shane Fernando is ground secretary. Well played. Brilliant shot.
Now that is Avishka Fernando for you. Beautifully done. As I did mention that he's the only one who's really understood the wicket very well. Picked that one very early. It was not a tossed up delivery, but executed perfectly.
Yeah, he got width outside off stump. And he didn't try to overhit either. Great work. Experience.
Short this time, cut away, but finds the fielder.
A very quick delivery. He was fast medium there.
Oh, again finds the fielder.
2 dot balls.
Good comeback. In our school we also had a left arm spinner who's the ball very fast, and we called him Podi Akram.
What was his real name?
Nalin Mandar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This time, Fernando will get a single.
It was captain to captain then.
Now 2 balls remaining in this over. Fernando having a chat with Nadishan.
Kavini Nadishan can put bat to ball.
So now what does Nadishan do? Either he needs to get a single and get Fernando on strike, or he needs to go for 2 big slugs in the next 2 deliveries.
I think he'll look for a boundary. Not both, but 1 boundary, surely. Oh, brilliant delivery. Brilliant delivery.
What can you do with that?
Yorker length. As I said earlier, fast medium. So the variety available with Sudhara Dakshina. Again, flighted this time. 4 dot balls in that over. His third, 16 completed. 81 for 6. SSC put it back.
කෙවියා ඔහම හිටපන්. කෙවින්.
Right, this is
පහක් උඩ හිටපන්.
SSC versus the Malle
පහක් උඩ හිටපන්.
Cricket Club, the final of the Tier B Sri Lanka Cricket Tier B tournament, T20 tournament, live from the Coles Cricket Ground. Just to remind you that this is a production of Capital Network powered by ThinkCube together with Quadrangle and Rumex. So these pictures are brought to you courtesy these teams. So SSC at the moment in trouble. They got 4 overs to go, 24 legitimate deliveries. Now this is the time that Avishka Fernando needs to break loose, and he does that. Gets a boundary of the first ball. SSC needs a few like that. Fernando 34 of 35, less than a runner ball. It talks about the issues the batters have faced on this surface, Gamini.
Yeah, Roshan, he will be the key. As far as SSC are concerned, he will be the key. The next, what? 23 balls left. Current rate 5.26. Once again, heaved on the onside. Yeah, he can be very destructive, can't he, Fernando? I think he has done the correct thing, because it's not the pitch that you can get used to as you come in. It's holding up a bit, oddball turns, and he has spent some time now. He's got used to the speed of the ball, so he can be quite handy in the next 2 or 3 overs. Nicely played by Nadishan. Well, he'll be having a good look at this pitch as well, because he's a right arm wrist spinner. He will have to do some work later on.
Well, I'll be very interested to see how Malle sets about in chasing this target. They've got a heads up as to how the surface is playing. When SSC went in, obviously, they had to assess the surface, and they found it with a little bit of difficulty with wickets lost. And Avishka Fernando, as you said, is the key on strike. Can he get those boundaries that SSC desperately wants? What about this? Oh, good catch. I'll tell you, that's a brilliant catch. For a moment, I thought it was 6. But outstanding catch in the deep. I would give 11 out of 10 to Malle for their fielding.
Well, I just spoke how vital this man is, Fernando, but have a look at this. Timed his jump to perfection. Great grab that. Whenever SSC looks to take control, Malays have found a way to pick them back. And another important dismissal that, well, Fernando goes suddenly. 2 new batters at the crease for the last 20 odd balls or so. Malays are right in this.
Yeah, this is perfect for the Malays, because Fernando was their obstacle. He tried hard, he worked hard, but eventually looking to take the bowling on, succumbing to pressure. But then this is perfect for the Malle team, because as you said, 2 new batters, and they're left with 3 overs and a bit, and this is truly perfect. So this is a time that any fielding side would want to try and cut off those boundaries. We got some supporters. These guys were present even during the semi-final. They were very vocal. They support their team, and they must be enjoying themselves seeing what the Malays have done so far, and they'll be very proud of what they have achieved. See, this is the time, Gamini, that you're looking to try and concede singles and 2s and not boundaries, and this is perfect. Malays might go even better and bowl dots.
Oh, that would be called a wide. Yeah, like you said, you know, it's not the easiest pitch to get used to as you come in. That's why it's such an important wicket that Avishka Fernando's that was, and once again playing for the turn, leading edge. Well, Ishwara has finished his 4 overs. He wouldn't have dreamt about it this morning. 2 for 20.
Yeah, that last ball was interesting to me. 3 overs to go. If you saw it, that ball gripped a little bit on the surface. and the batter was Fernando was playing it a little bit too early. That might give SSC some hope. They'll be telling themselves 18 balls left, get to 120 if you can. Give them a runner ball target to defend, and with the ball gripping and getting a bit of turn, they will obviously fancy their chances against an inexperienced Malle batting lineup. But then we speak about inexperience, we speak about unknown quantities. So far, those two haven't been too much of an issue for the Malle Cricket Club. They've done outstandingly well. They've kept the SSC under 6 runs and over. A very strong SSC batting lineup. Make no mistake, we're talking about a side that has national cricketers who play T20 cricket, who play in leagues, playing in this game. And Dakshina into his last over. Oh, that's a friendly delivery. Starts off with a full toss. Only a single.
Yeah, you speak about a big opportunity for these players, Roshan. This was the last one. What a massive moment that could be. Great catch. Yeah, you talk about how these players have been put in big stage, and kudos to Sri Lanka Cricket. This production by Capital Network, powered by Think Cube, together with Quadrangle and Rumex. Roshan, just imagine these players. Some of the spectators, or some of you are watching at home, are seeing these players for the very first time, thanks to this production by these people, and equally kudos to SLC. Oh, that can be out. Well, it just missed the stumps.
Well, that's the whole idea, I think. T20 cricket is, I believe that tournaments like this, games like this will throw up new talent, new cricketers. Well, there was confusion. Could have been out for sure at that hit. But you'll certainly find some outstanding prospects emerging from games like this, hitherto unknown. And you bring them on the big stage. You show them on television. People are going to take note. So this is a wonderful platform, as you said. Capital Networks are doing a brilliant job, and well done to Sri Lanka Cricket as well. And also, let's not forget that Dialogue TV, Pure TV and SLC YouTube are carrying this. So I'm sure there are quite a few eyeballs that will be falling on this game.
Well, a few hits are being scratched at the moment. If you're an SSC supporter, that is. Final delivery for Dakshina. Once again, they're fearless. They don't mind, take them on. Certainly the stumps, I'll tell you. 4 overs, none for 24 for Dakshina, 93 for 7 with 2 to go.
Well, 12 balls left for the SSC. How much can they make at a runner ball? They'll be looking at little over 100. I don't think that's going to be enough, even on the surface, Gamini. You'll be looking, you need at least 120. SSC needs one big over here. So Malle will have to be very, very careful. They'll have to concentrate. They'll have to make sure that they don't loosen the pressure, because they have so far maintained a very tight grip with their bowling and their fielding. We're still to see what they could do with the bat in hand. Though they have come into the finals with some really superlative efforts, like in the semi-final, as I said, chased down 171 yesterday at the SSC and won quite handsomely in the last over. So we got Devinder, a tall left armer. Good fielding, very good fielding. These are precious dots, I'll tell you. Dots at this stage are gold dust.
Yeah, this is the stage where you look for boundaries in every delivery. Right now, it's few and far in between, as far as the SSC are concerned. There is a fielder in that play. That's the other good thing, Roshan. They've bowled to their field. On a surface that is holding up a touch, they bowl the correct speeds. Well, sometimes, it gives you great energy when you come against good players as a youngster, and haven't they lived up to that? Powerfully towards extra cover. Still a single. Yeah, like you said, at this stage of the innings, run a ball is like gold dust. But SSC looking for some boundaries, and well, it has been dry as Sahara when it's the boundaries for SSC.
That's on the pad, just firing the ball in with the lower arm. He's very clever, isn't he? Devinder, he tends to bowl with one with the more straighter arm. He also tends to go a little bit with the lower arm that he fires in. But what I like about the Malle out cricket is that they have kept it quite simple. Utterly uncomplicated. They, as you said, they stuck to their plan. Lines and lengths have been brilliant. Kept to their field, and this is in their top edge. And taken in the deep. Another wicket for Malle. That's wicket number 8. Nothing seemed to be going right for the SSC at the moment. They're still 4 runs shy of 100. Wicket number 8 is lost.
Again, pushed quicker. Spliced it really. Once again, a nice running catch. Yeah, certainly they have been right on top of their game, Malle SC, when it comes to fielding. They have won one department, Roshan, so far, with few balls to go, and can they back it up when it comes to batting? Because their bowling and fielding has been terrific.
Well, I'll tell you what, they have done no wrong at all. I'll give them 110 out of 100 so far, with just 1 over and a bit to go. With their, as you said, with their fielding and batting. Fielding has been outstandingly well, backing their bowlers, held on to some brilliant catches. That first catch set the tone, dismissing the opener. From there on, yes, Dasun Shanaka's catch was missed, but Malle hasn't looked back. They've been very good with their out cricket, throwing themselves around, very safe with their catches, cutting off a lot of boundaries. This is what you'll be looking for from a young and an energetic side that has nothing to lose in this game. And now, what about that? For a moment, I thought that looked good. The umpire gives a leg by. Well. I think this is worth taking a look. Let's see. Well, I think it's sliding down the leg side. You could see middle and off stump, so I'll leave it to the umpire. But a wonderful over comes to an end, Garmini. We got 1 over to go. SSC struggling at 97 for 8.
Yeah, terrific spell that. Devinder had to bowl in the first power play as well, so it's never easy in these T20 conditions. And few supporters for Colombo Malle, they are looking anxious, aren't they? Well, the first time ever they've been in the hot seat playing against a fancied team, SSC. Well, they've had the wood on them so far. 2 for 18 for Devinder. Yeah, that was a good call, like you said, Roshan. Umpire Deepal got 1 correct previous time, and that was driving the umpire's call. But, you know, he's the closest one. We will respect that.
Well, we've seen some Malle supporters around, but where are the SSC supporters? I think the SSC have seen too many finals and too many championships for their team. So I'm just wondering whether they have decided to come maybe in the second half, hoping that they'll come and watch when the mopping up is done. But then I think they're in for a rude shock if that was the case.
Or you go to Maitland Crescent, Colombo 7, you might see some of them watching our production.
Yep, from the club, and thinking twice whether they should come or not. But certainly we got the supporters of Malle here in full voice. Now what about that? Will this be called a wide? It's not. It's a good start to the over by Malshan. He's got 3 for 18. Now Malle will be patting themselves on the back. We spoke about this young man, a bit of movement, lovely run up, nice action, good follow through as well, but that was passing those tram lines. So certainly the batter has a case. Now what about that? Will this be called? No, it's not. He's been brilliant. He's just made sure that he's landed it on the tram line. He's not happy. I think the previous one looked a little bit wider than that last one.
Yeah, the batter is saying that I've stood my ground, not that I'm moving across. Let's have a look. Oh well, umpire is quite correct on that. That took the inside part of that line.
No,
He's been smart. Malshan, I've been very impressed with. He has shown that he is a weapon with the older ball as well during the death overs. He's got the responsibility to bowl the last. He bowled 3 overs with the new ball in hand. 3 for 18. He has been magnificent so far. This time he goes for it. Well, out. But there'll be a wide. So run off that ball, but 9th wicket is down.
Well, Malle will take it. I'm just wondering whether that was a wide, that deserved to be called a wide, considering that the previous deliveries weren't called. But this is what happens. Good piece of thinking by the wicketkeeper and the bowler, and great marksmanship. Underarm onto the stumps. SSC now 97 for 9, and they are definitely tottering and up against it. That's a long walk back for the batter. Pramod Madhushan. Well, we'll see him later on with the ball in hand, but then 97 for 9.
Yeah, the skill set that he's got, Pramod Madhushan, will be quite handy on this track because he bowls cutters, and this is Kishan Balasurya. He's at the non-strikers, and Nadishan is on strike. Help to third man, once again cleanly done, but they will take one on the arm. The other thing that I've been very impressed with, Roshan, obviously they would have done their homework. Some of the brain trust, the think tank from Malle, they had a certain composition coming into this grand final. So many spinners. Malshan, the solitary pace bowler, bowled 3 overs with the new ball, got the responsibility to bowl the last, mixed up their bowlers in the middle. They've done really well.
Yeah, I think it's good cricket. Very good strategy. This is good bowling, really good bowling, and gone. So SSC have been dismissed for 99, which means Malle will need 100 to win this T20 of the Tier B. I'm just checking whether SSC has got 99 or 100, but either way, it's a good performance by the fielding unit. They have done an outstanding job, with the last batter being run out, looking to try and steal a single, which wasn't there, but it's a brilliant effort by the Malle Cricket Club. The Colombo Malles, as they're called, yes, they'll have a few words before they go in. They know that the momentum is with them. They came in at the underdogs, and they have not let the strong SSC overawed them and in any way. They're not overawed by the strong SSC side. Instead, they have just stuck to their game plan, and they have come out on tops. Brilliant stuff by the Malle Cricket Club. In a final, and in a grand final in the Tier B T20 final organized by Sri Lanka Cricket, up against one of the strongest sides in domestic cricket, comprising of many national cricketers, and they have done outstandingly well. They won the toss, decided to bowl first, and they'll have a lot to celebrate as they come into the dressing room.
I'll tell you what, when they woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, Roshan, I don't think they would have expected this. First to win the toss, well, some of the supporters from Colombo Malle, well, this was the first wicket. This is when the rot started, and brilliantly caught. Vikramasinghe was caught behind. Malshan, that was his third. This was probably the shot of the innings from Shanaka. And few balls later, Malshan had the better of him. That was one of the very rare boundaries from Kalupahana, edged. Plum in front was Kalupahana. That was probably one of the best balls you'll ever see. A dream ball for the off spinner.
Well, SSC tried hard, some really good shots. They were looking to break the shackles. They did get boundaries, not just off the middle of the bat, some off the outside edge. But in between, they were done by some very clever bowling. That time, gripping in the surface. Well, they were never in control. SSC tried really hard, played some good shots. But eventually, Malle gave a very good account of themselves. That catch of Avishka Fernando in the deep, and then that running catch, and then the run out. It all added to the confusion of SSC, who are under so much of pressure. And another run out as Malle ends the agony of SSC being put into bat.
Well, the story here is that Colombo Malle won the toss and put SSC in. SSC all out for 100. We'll have a short break, and on the other side of it, we'll have the run chase from Colombo Malle.
අයිබෝවන් අප මේ ඔබ හමුවන්නේ හැබ්ලොක් පිටියේ කොළඹ කෝල්ස් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයේ සිට ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් සංවිධානය කරන අන්තර් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජ දෙවන පෙළ 2020 ක්‍රිකට් තරඟාවලිය 2025 අවසන් මහා තරඟය පැවැත්වෙන්නේ කෝල්ස් පිටියේදී කාසිය වාසිය දිනාගත්තා කොළඹ මෙලේ ක්‍රිකට් සමාජය මුලින් ලකුණු රැස් කිරීමට අවස්ථාව ලබා දුන්නා සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයට. ඔවුන් පන්දු ඕවර 19යි පන්දු 4කදී ලකුණු 100කට සියලුම පිතිකරුවන් දැවී ගියා. වැඩිම ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාව නායක අවිෂ්ක ප්‍රනාන්දු 35යි පන්දු යැවීමේදී දස්කම් දැක්වා තිමිර මල්ෂාන් ලකුණු 21කට කඩලු 3යි චානක දේවින්ද උඩ පන්දු 2ක් රැකගත්තා. සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයේ මුල් කඩලු 5 බිඳ වැටුනේ ලකුණු 54ක් මුල් ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාවට එකතු වෙද්දී අවසන් කඩලු 5 බිඳ වැටෙද්දී මුල් ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාවට ලකුණු 26ක් පමණයි එකතු වුණේ. ඉතාමත් හොඳ පන්දු රැකීමේ දක්ෂතාවයන් රසක් සමගින් ප්‍රබල SSC පිතිකරු බලයනිය මෙල්ල කිරීමට කොළඹ මෙලේ ක්‍රිකට් සමාජයට හැකියාවක් ලැබුණා. දැන් ඔවුන්ගේ පිළිතුරින්ම ආරම්භ කිරීමට සූදානම් වන්නේ. ගමනි, a tremendous game on cards.
Yeah, you could have asked for a better grand final. Very experienced Sinhalese Sports Club against Colombo Malles. Pramod Madhushan, his stock ball will leave the right hander. Got plenty of experience at the highest level. Got few variations to go with it, and there are some anxious phases, and they've done their part as far as the ball in hand, but now the challenge is, can they get over these 100 runs that they require to get their hands on this elusive trophy?
Good delivery again. Krishan Sanjula is the one behind the stumps with the gloves on. Played for Teraputta National School, Hambantota, Pramod Madhushan. Hard-working, very experienced individual.
A nice area there. We've already seen that this pitch is not the easiest to come and get used to. Around that 5-meter mark from Madhushan, obviously, we saw Malshan with his medium pace troubling the batters, but Madhushan obviously pulling around that 135 k's per hour.
Three dot balls to start off with. Hiranta Jayasinghe is the opening batter, product of St. Thomas's College, Mathara. Again, playing away from his body too.
The first time width been offered by Madhushan, but Jayasinghe, not a lot of feed is there. There was an opportunity, slip a gully, a slightly deep gully rather, extra cover mid off, fine leg inside the circle. Wow, one bounce, nice, great cricket that, very good delivery, swinging from leg stump to the off stump. Jayasinghe was looking to break his wrist towards mid-wicket, getting a leading edge. Fernando fielding at mid-on, nearly the first one.
They'll have to be absolutely error-free on the field. Just managed to get home. Just manage. Only just. Is Kavind Ishwar, if I'm not mistaken, who is at the non-striker's end. Didn't quite get hold of that one, but good to know that you're off the mark.
Yeah, that's what they will have to do. Colombo Malays just cannot go into a shell and wait for things to happen. They need to go tit for tat and take these SSC bowlers on and put pressure on them early. They need to tell them that with the bat in hand that we are in for a fight, and first real intent from Jayasinghe, like you said, not off the middle but still gets him a couple. Yeah, they need to look for some boundaries in this first power play.
He's bowled with so much control, Pramod Madhushan. Just conceded a couple of runs off that first over. If they have to go at 5 runs and over to get to that 100, if they don't make the 30 runs at the end of the first power play, I think they will struggle, considering how many wickets they have lost during that time too.
Yeah, interesting move this. For a moment I thought the way Colombo Malays operated with the ball in hand and the way they mixed up Haritha, their bowlers, obviously they were very spin heavy, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I thought SSC were going to do the same thing, because the two right-handers in the middle and maybe a right arm leggy or a left arm orthodox to change the speed, but not so. Dasun Shanaka is going to come around, or right arm over the wicket. Very similar field.
Good struck. Really good one. This is putting the bowler under pressure. Boundary to start off with. They would have probably wanted the two experienced bowlers, national level experienced bowlers, to give them a good start. Dasun Shanaka is not the fastest of them. That's a good strike.
Yeah, when you defend a total like this, in this nature, you can't give freebies. At his speed, around 120 plus, on a wicket like this, you cannot give length. Good start for Ishwar. Half volley, first up. Getting a boundary, that'll calm his nerves. Straight away the slip comes out into a mid-wicket position. I don't think Shanaka is going to operate for that long if he's not going to pick any wickets. You need to give something for the batter to think on a surface like this. There you are. Short length. Mid on. Oh my word. Goodness gracious me. It was India for a very long time.
That's Malcha Fernando. Oh no.
How many times we have spoken already in these 8 balls, Harita, that SSC will have to match the performance. Have a look at this. Top edge. He had enough time to get under it. Well, oops she goes. Made a meal out of that one, didn't he?
Oh. Did they drop the title? Ishwara has crossed over. Kavindu Nadishan will be a top contender to probably control the opponents. Oof. What would have been the instructions from Malinda Pushpakumar, the head coach for SSC?
Well, certainly one would be to take the catches that come your way. But having said that,
that's what the Royal coach would have also said.
Having said that, I like the approach from the Colombo Malays. One batter is taking the bowlers on. The other one is looking to play a bit more conventionally.
Both are batting outside the crease. All right, good Yorker delivery. Came back very quickly inside his crease to put it up and stay focused.
Yeah, that's the advantage when you bat second, Harita. Now let's have a look at this. This is something that the fielder will not like to have a look at again.
He was well out of his crease when he made contact top edge. He did everything right. Got right underneath it, both hands. This is a game of glorious uncertainties, but you can't apply that to that sort of fielding. You shouldn't. Dasun Shanaka.
I'll tell you what, Shanaka was very close to go over the line then. Let's see whether if he can get an angle on sideways angle. He's so close to that front foot. Dasun Shanaka. Once again, attempted short pitch.
He's a performer at finals in this format of the game. Anywhere he plays. Played for St. Peter's, Nigambo and Maristella Nigambo. Good cricket. Tap and run, get out of the danger area. Kavisha Ishwara will retain the strike at the end of the second over. Got to 9 without loss.
Yeah, certainly when you chase a total in this nature, Haritha, you need to take the maximum use of the first power play, and this is exactly what these two batters are looking for at the moment. And Shanaka is the ideal candidate for them to go after, although they offered it life in that last over, but they'll be very happy both the batters are still there. Pramod Madhushan, is he going to continue? Yeah, the wicketkeeper is back, so SSC will have to keep picking wickets. This is not a total that you can defend. This is exactly why Colombo Malays will have to get few boundaries while the ball is still new. We saw how it changed during the course of the innings. That first dig, and as the ball gets older, there'll be a turn and slow turn too. So,
see, when you get back to the statistics, the highest partnerships, 2 of the best is for SSC. They couldn't do that today. Oh, he was steaming in. He's keeping the ball in a corridor, which is tempting the batter. He's missing it.
yeah, he's. Wow. Had he connected that ball would have ended up at traffic lights in Tibrigasa. That's how hard he was trying to hit that. It was half a second late on it too.
From the Havelock end, Pramod Madhushan, he's now steaming in fast as he could. I was talking about those partnerships. 100 for the third wicket, Nipun Dhananjay and Avishka Fernando against Sebastianites. Then 87 for the opening stand, Siobhan Daniel and Krishan Sanjula against Navy. They won that match by 10 wickets.
is coming out. But I don't know whether this is a good move. I think SSC should be looking to get wickets, and particularly with that outswing, you're bound to get a nick. Well, it's all happening, I'll tell you. The good old saying, swing and hope for the best.
See, he's almost playing from the position that he's standing. He's not getting onto the front foot, getting onto the back foot. Just try to hit the ball well away, almost bowled off the bottom edge. Pramod Madushan has given SSC a lot of hope. The script is written only one way. Play and a miss outside off stump.
Once again, a good half volley. All he has to do is to get that front foot across and release his hands through the line. There are a lot of gaps on the offside. There's a cover point, cover extra, cover amid off. But right now, he's looking to go downtown and he's nowhere near it.
See, the wicketkeeper is very busy at the moment. Krishan Sanjula talking about wicketkeepers. 3 players have picked up 6 victims. Samin Kandanarachi Ragama, Denit Situmina Ragama, Krishan Sanjula SSC. 6 victims each. Again top edge. Just into the boundary. Avishka Fernanda was running. And the ball is just evading him all the way.
Finally, he gets some bat onto it. Change up from Madushan. Shorter length. Fernando, it's never easy when you have to run that way to take a high catch. But it was up in the air for a very long time. It was like the 9-9, wasn't it? 1. Let's have a look. 1, 2. Yeah. 5-foot putter.
Really. The highest team total in this tournament, 195 for 5 of 20 overs for Malle CC against Sebastianites. The second best was 192 for 4 for SSC in 20 overs. Also against Sebastianites. 2 in a row.
Yeah, the difference this time. Now let's have a look at his hands. This time he was not looking to hit across the line. Now see that? His bottom hand continuing towards extra cover. That was enough to get enough contact. His intention was to go over the off, infield on the off.
So they are well in front now. 17 into the third over. Last ball coming up. They had to go at 5 and over. They're making a huge statement here, Colombo Malles. He went full over for Pramod Madushan and for Kavisha Ishwara. 3 completed, 17 without loss, chasing 101 to win.
Yeah, obviously David has spoken about it in the dressing room after the first 20 overs, Harita, how to approach this total. And definitely with the brain trust, the coaches and the decision makers would have said, you go hell for it from the very first ball and see what you can get out of the first 5 overs. Now this is a good move. This is what I actually expected from SSC, to open with a spinner from one side. Gishan Balasuriya, left arm orthodox, the former Royal captain. He's going to come from the park end. Now what has he got? He's got a long off, a deep mid-wicket straightish. Now, I would still like to have a slip, but not the case. Interesting contest this.
He'll try to play with more purpose. All they got to do is just add 3 runs, then they'll get to that 5-run average per over, which would take them to their total. The ball. Saw him advancing quicker into the block hole. He's a tough customer. Picked up a 3-wicket haul before.
Yeah, well, it's quite evident. Both these batters are going hard at the paces, Haritha. Now lack of speed. They need to have that skill to adjust the hand speed. There you are. Now suddenly they'll have to wait for it rather than going hard at it. And yeah, this is a good move.
Yeah, you've got to field well. In the fielding department, they have done very well. That's what Colombo Malays have been very consistent with. The most catches in the tournament, Chanaka Devinda of Malays, he has 8, including the 2 today. 2 others, Hiruno Segera of Leo CC and Hasita Suranga of Goal CC, had 6 each with him before the start of this game.
Yeah, nicely bowled once again from Balasuriya. Just took the pace right off. Just a slight pause in his delivery stride.
Yeah, the spinners could make a huge difference. If he bowls his overs under 20, 4 overs, this is an area where they would be confident. 4 overs, 20 without loss. Colombo Malays chasing 101 to win.
Target is a 101 for Colombo Malle, so it's been a good start. SLC will be disappointed the fact that they dropped that catch. Might have made a difference, but at the moment, Colombo Malle are doing things pretty well. They got them into a good position, none for 20. Now Dasun Shanaka comes back. Morning, Roshan.
Yep, it's still morning here at the Coles. There's so much of work to be done for the SSC. They'll be blaming themselves. We do know that the surface wasn't a brilliant surface by any means. It was a surface that was a little bit slow. It was gripping. The ball was not coming onto the bat. I still believe, though, it was not a 100-run surface. I'm sure SSC will be kicking themselves because they should have been looking at around 120, 130. But instead, it's definitely below par at the moment, Kosala, and the only way forward for them is wickets. And I'm afraid, if you look at the way the Malay batters are batting, they don't seem to be inspiring too much of confidence. Particularly this man on strike, Ishwara, he's looking to blast every ball. I think this surface is not a surface that you look to blast. It's a surface that you need to try and build an innings. It's a more structured, methodical, workman-like innings where you look for singles rather than looking to blast the bowling. That we have called a wide, I think. Unless I want to emphasize on that, he's been given the license to do what he's trying to do.
Wide on that occasion, quite correctly called. I agree with you, Roshan. I was also going to bring that fact that maybe the duty or the job role that he's been given is just to go after the bowling, get a couple of runs, to get the maximum out of his batting power play, and make or the power play rather, and make maximum use of it.
Yeah, you're right, but I really don't see a need because you're chasing at less than a run a ball. You're chasing 101, so you're not looking for. You're not looking to blast the bowling, though this time I think he's got the distance. He's got a 6. Well, these shots are psychological. This releases the pressure. And it also puts SSC on the back foot. Because don't forget, Kosala, they are defending only 101.
Well, Shanaka might have been looking for the York on that occasion, I would feel. But he went with two short deliveries. One was called a wide. Then might have tried to go in, but then that was in the zone. And all the batter had to do was just go through the motions and getting it over the line. Goes again, gets an outside edge, and this flies over. Short third man. It's another boundary. 10 off 2 balls. This will hurt SSC.
I think it's already started to hurt them. But I believe that Chanaka is missing a trick here. I say that because we have seen that this surface is, I won't say that it is good for fast bowling, or at least I wouldn't say that the batters would enjoy with a bit of pace on the ball, but the seam bowlers, the spinners have looked to sort of vary their pace. The seam bowlers have bowled cutters into the pitch. Dasun Shanaka, on the other hand, has looked to run in and bowl with pace on. So now he's pushing third back. He's bringing long on into the circle. So he's got to be more skillful here, I think. Take pace off. Maybe try and bowl those cutters into the pitch. Maybe try and do something different, because he's a bowler who's bowled in difficult conditions. He knows how to dismiss batters.
Quite right. Bowl into the surface. That's the key here. Let's see what he does here. Again, short. This is up in there. And this time, he holds out at mid-off. I think it's the skipper who holds on to the catch. And SSC get their first breakthrough at 32. And Ishwara, with a quick fire, 26, will walk back to the pavilion. Again, he was trying to look to get it over that mid-wicket, mid-on area. That's a shorter side of this pitch, but only managed to get it to mid-off, and he's gone.
Not great batting, I'll tell you, because he's already got 10 runs in this over, and I'm just wondering why he was looking to try and manufacture a shot. He had it under control. He hit a 6. Yes, he found an outside edge. So, I mean, singles would have been ideal, because you're not chasing 10 runs and over. You're looking at less than 6 runs and over. All SSC required was wickets. They need a sneak. They need to kind of, have a sneak. They need to open up one end. So let's see how the SSC bowlers now look to try and capitalize on this. They got a varied bowling attack. Pramod Madhushan has looked good with the seam. The spinners, they're quite good. So can they apply pressure? Can they keep knocking over? Now they got to 32, and well, they need another 69 runs. That's not much. But still, on a surface like this, in a low-scoring game where run-making is not easy, Kosala, I believe there is a lot of cricket left.
Yep. If SSC can pick up 2 quick wickets here, courtesy of Dasun Shanaka or any other bowler, that will put pressure on the Colombo Malles. And also take the fact that they're a relatively inexperienced team compared to the SSC side, and playing on a big stage. So they need wickets. If they can pull 2 quickly within this power play, SSC will be back in the game.
See, to me, a lot will depend on how this pair of batters approach their problem. 5 overs done, 32 for 1. It's the way they will be looking to build their reply. Now, I can see a helmet going out, so that's good. That's good for the SSC, because they're looking to try and make a statement. They're looking to create pressure. They're going to bring in fielders close in. They're going to have fielders under the batter's eyes. They're going to create some extra bit of pressure. And they've already got a new batter. So what they will want to do, Kosala, is try and bowl more to the new batter. So that should be the plan. So let's see how SSC sets about doing it.
Helmet has gone to the keep, actually. So it's spin. No close-in fielder. It's the left-arm spin. Down the track, trying to clear mid-wicket.
I think Malle got to be careful with this approach. That shot immediately after a wicket being lost in the last over tells you either it's inexperience or just asking for trouble, because see that there was a field at mid-wicket. So all you needed to do was miscue it. And suddenly, it's a perfect setting for SSC. You got two new batters. So what Malle's need to do is just make sure that they got a new batter or a set batter batting as deep as possible.
That's what this surface has been doing. That one spun, and there was some bounce as well.
See, and look at the tentativeness of the feet. See, he's stuck. See, this can happen. Now a slip comes in. This is good captaincy. Very good captaincy. This is sensible. Very sensible batting. You got to be decisive with your footwork. You got to be decisive with the way you approach the problem. Now that delivery 2 balls ago, the indecisiveness where they were not, it was neither forward nor back. It dipped and turned. Suddenly, deliveries like that would start to creep in, and it creates that doubt in the minds of the batter. So that's why it's so important that partnerships. So Malle needs to be telling themselves, we are 36 for 1 at the moment. Let's get to 50. Let's try and break this down into little targets. This is that first wicket.
This has been a good over. Now there's a appeal for a run out. Maybe the dive might have saved him, Roshan, on that occasion. End of the over, 37 for 1. Take a look at that again, Roshan.
Yeah, another look. I think a direct hit would have been fatal. But as you correctly said, as you correctly called it, the dive from the batter, just a desperate dive, just made sure that he got there in time. I think SSC is not out of this game, I'll tell you. 64 runs, a lot on the surface. Because it's starting to grip a little bit, as we spoke about the inexperience in the Malle side. So can the SSC exploit it? I mean, they got Charit Asalanka, who can bowl some very interesting off-spin. Kavindu Nadishan, you spoke about him, who bowls, or at least Gamini spoke about him, who bowls quickish leg breaks. He's a very handy cricketer. And always, I believe, a wrist spinner can be more than a handful. And on a surface like this, because with the revs on the ball, he will look to turn it. I like to see a slip into the right-hander, because if you're looking for wickets, getting a slip doesn't matter.
Yeah, they need to build pressure. They need to ask the batters to be doing something different. It's a fairly tossed up delivery that's hit through the covers. That will find the boundary. Not the best of starts for the leg spinner, but definitely Malle will take that.
Yeah, they'll take that, no doubt, but the leg spinner slightly over-pitched, but that's the plan. That's a little bit over-tossed. That's what happened. So became eventually a fairly friendly half volley, but then that's the plan. You will want the batter to be driving to extra cover and hope that the ball will dip and find an outside edge. So that's why I feel you need to have a slip. You need to make sure that you have your close fielders in the right place. Short extra cover is a good place. Cover is a good place, but I definitely like to see a slip. Maybe what's the field they can get rid of? Well, they got an offside field. They got a deep mid-wicket. So they got cover at long on and mid-wicket. So I would rather bring maybe I'll move the short third slightly rounder and bring in a slip, so that you give the bowler the extra option of being able to dismiss a batter.
But at the moment, he's not really turning the ball. He's just trying to fire it in, and you can see the angle that he's bowling. So that might be the reason why they're not having that slip, but this will bring in added pressure. Really look at what he's been doing. He's just firing it in.
See, as you said, he's not turning the ball as yet, or at least the deliveries he's bowled has not allowed the delivery or allowed those balls to turn. It's been a little bit too full. So Nadishan needs to relax a little bit, take it a little bit easy rather than rushing in. Just take a deep breath, come in and you know, bowl with more control, maybe bowl a little bit slower rather than trying to fire the ball in and hope that the ball will dip and turn. He needs one delivery to do that. That will straight away create that doubt in the batter's mind and will prevent the batter playing across the line. That's better. That's more like it, but still a single. This is very clever batting on the part of Malle. 7 overs done, 45 for 1.
They need to start building pressure. I would still feel, Roshan, that they should bowl with the slip in. Just bring that added pressure. Now, this is what happened during the first 6 overs of the Malle run chase. They started off with a boundary. This is the drop chance. And then a couple of blows of Dasun Shanaka. And then this happened. The first wicket to fall. Since then, Malle has progressed to 41. Change in the bowling. Now this is what was expected. Charit Tasanka, he's a very difficult customer to negotiate with. He's got a lot of experience, Roshan. He will vary his speed, his deliveries. He'll just push one through quickly. He'll release some late. It's going to be a challenge for the Malle batters. But still, I would see a very defensive feel being used by Asalanka.
I think it's about walking a thin line for the SSC. They're definitely having to walk a thin line because at the moment 46 for 1. So what are they looking at? What are they looking to defend? They're looking at another 55 runs. So they can't afford to over-attack for sure. So they got to make sure that their fielders are in the right place. And the best they can hope for is to find batters play shots like that and make mistakes, though this time they get a boundary. Extremely well done by Jayasinha, and the 50 is up for Malle, and they're moving quite smoothly at the moment, the Malle batters.
Well, he picked it up very early, isn't it, Roshan? He quickly spotted that delivery, moved in with the reverse sweep, and he got it into the gap. That is the key. Now, on a SSC point of view, they might feel that that needs a miscue. But at the moment, 50 up, they need another 50. Stamp short, pulled away, and it finds a fielder. This is what happens. Charit Tasan, that is a bad ball, Roshan, to get out. And he just found the fielder.
Absolutely right. Not the greatest deliveries, but SSC will take it. See, these are the mistakes Malles will have to avoid. Finds the fielder. He's got plenty of vacant areas if he wanted to pick it, but he found Nuanidu Fernando. SSC will be delighted. They've got 2 quick wickets close to each other, and both set batters, both openers gone. Now this again, to me, is an opportunity for SSC. They've opened up both ends. Can they drive home the advantage? Can they start picking wickets? That's the big question.
Well, Charit Tasanka, who seems to be a bowler with a golden arm, when he comes on to bowl in any form of cricket, Roshan, he just comes and picks up wickets for you.
Why not? I mean, he's done it at the highest level. He's bowled some telling spells for Sri Lanka. And here is the opportunity. SSC team and fans and supporters will breathe a little bit easier. But still, when you look at what they're defending and where Malle is, Malle will obviously be the happier of the two teams, though still I believe and I insist and I reiterate that there is a lot of cricket left in this game. Plenty of cricket. I say that when you have guys like Charit Tasanka, Dasun Shanaka, the likes of them with the ball in hand, and a young and an inexperienced Malle side, what will be the approach? Will they look to blast the bowling, or will they look to milk it? Get singles rather than boundaries.
So this is the fall of the last wicket. That of Jasinger. Short delivery, but he found the fielder. He found the lone fielder. The boundary. Charitas Lanka is mixing things up at the moment, but they pick up another single. Again, this is the previous wicket that fell. Again, short. He was always trying to hit it in there. He was trying to hit it upwards rather than trying to bring it down, and he found the fielder.
See what Malle needs to tell themselves. We'll come to that. 51 for 2 at the end of 8. So they need 48 runs. And they got 12 overs to do that. So what do they need? They need 4 runs and over. So what Malle need to tell themselves is, we don't need boundaries. We don't need to look for boundaries. If they come, it's fine. I mean, if there is a bad ball, we'll take it. But just try and look for singles. Look for 5 singles and over. That should be the plan. That will put a lot of pressure on SSC.
Come bravo. Tamai poda ussang gahanna. Podi katawak ekka gahanna. Bala.
So Charitas Lanka bringing the hopes back for SSC.
Come bro.
Uddika Hasaranga. He's been one of their better players. Product of Prince of Wales, Morotua. With him is Kavisha Satsara from PDS Kulratna Ambalangoda previously. Well ahead of the required run rate. Wickets in hand. Colombo Malays are very confident. Great work. So picking up wickets at regular intervals. Krishan Sanjula is one of the leading wicket keepers in this tournament. Just dragged himself up. No time to come back.
Yeah, classical dismissal for a leg spinner, Haritha. Nice loop. Dipped on the batter. Trying to reach for it and just lost his balance ever so slightly. Yeah, that's a good wicket. SSC needs to keep picking wickets at regular intervals, and this is not a total that you can defend. The only way you're going to win is to get 10 wickets, and coming to Nadishan will have to play a big role if SSC to get up from here on in.
So, having batted through most of the first few overs, Jasinger departs here on the Jasinger.
Come bravo.
Couple of wickets in consecutive overs got SSC back into the game.
That is the beauty of T20 cricket, and this is that type of a wicket that it can change in no time, and SSC got a lot of experience.
Ow!
Oh, that was that slider from the front of the hand.
Kevin,
that will become very handy on a surface like this. There you are.
Kevin Samuel played for Isipatana. Coach Wadiba Pereira, he will probably know what it is like not to throw away the advantage. Despite this setup can go awry very easily. Suicidal run.
No, but the key was he was ready to run. He knew exactly what the striker was going to do. Have a look at him. took a good start and also had the presence of mind to put in the dive. Good cricket that. 9 overs completed, 54 for 3.
They would want to get as close as possible with this pair. They have through the season contributed with a fair amount of consistency with the bat. They're not too far away from what they should be doing. They're 9 ahead at the moment on the required run rate at this stage of the game. Charita Salanka.
Yeah, he can be a very cunning customer, Charita Salanka. Not known for his bowling heroics, particularly early part of his career, but he has done this few times for Sri Lanka national team as well. I can remember one match against Australia, he took 4 or 5 games and completely changed the game on its head.
You mean 4 or 5 wickets? Yeah?
And this is ideally the surface for his type of bowling.
Product of Richmond College goal. They had a winning combination during that time, few of them. And they are all together playing for the national side at the moment.
Yeah, trying to operate from right arm around the wicket. I don't know whether they should be thinking of having a slip in place. Left-hander is still quite new to the crease.
Yeah, that's what he would do well. Kevin Samuel, he can certainly hit the ball. He would love to play more along the ground than hitting it in the air. So cut down on the aerial shots, look for the singles. He can afford to do that. Tall man, he has a good reach. Buddhika Hasaranga. Yeah, this is what you should be doing. Soft hands, good understanding. You will frustrate the bowler.
Yeah, support from the dressing room, even for the singles. Well, singles will do the trick. They don't have to do much, do they, Harita? It's from this point onwards. Wow. Did he get an edge? A few oohs and ahs. We'll have a look at that after this over. 57 for 3 after 10.
He surprised the batter with a little bit more pace and certainly a little bit more bounce. SS is still on the back foot. Another couple of wickets can make a big difference there. At the moment, 7 runs ahead with 7 wickets in hand, going into the second half of their run chase. As far as the over is concerned, the Colombo Malays.
Come, Bravo! That's it. That's it. How about ටිකක් උඩට එමු? එකක් දෙක.
Sri Lanka cricket will be very happy. The first time that the domestic cricket live coverage has been granted over a long period. It's, from what I gather, a 10-year period that these people have obtained the rights.
Yeah, it's a terrific initiative. Let's look at this last delivery from Sri Lanka. He did get an edge, but no, it's never easy. Oh, that's been punished. It's running down to the boundary. Absolutely no chance for Nuno de Fernando, even with his long levers, to get close to that one.
But
yeah, very loose delivery from Nadishan so far has been terrific.
So this is what I told you about Kevin Samuel. He will use his height, and the same way with Buddhika Hasaranga, because they have batted confidently, consistently through the season for their team. Right on top of it.
Nearby, nearby.
Yeah, that's that's the easy part of it. Once you get a boundary, when you chase a total in this nature, you really don't want to take too many risks. You can afford to, not that it's a customary thing in T20 cricket. Oh, well, that was heading to the boundary. Bala Surya feeling it. Short third, definitely saved 3. Once again, very well executed.
Yeah, risk-free cricket. Brilliant cover-up work, former Royal captain. Pramod Madhishan is the fielder. Yeah, the initiative by Sri Lanka cricket, we were talking about it. It's a great thing. We'll put a name and a face to some of these top performers. End of 11, chasing 101. Colombo Malays have advanced to 6-2 for 3.
Yeah, back on that point, Haritha, today is the first day that actually this operation is taking place, and already reaping the rewards, Sri Lanka cricket. How many people have seen some of these players from Colombo Malle before? And they've got an opportunity to display their skill set in front of the whole country, and it's production by Capital Network, powered by Think Cube, together with Cod Triangle and Romex. Yeah, Sri Lanka cricket. Well, kudos to them, and another feather in their cap.
Yeah, it's live on Event TV, Dialogue Television, Pure TV, and also the Sri Lanka YouTube, and it'll only grow. I can now confirm that there are plans to cover the upcoming Segment A one-day tournament 2. The last thing you need is extras. Extra run, extra ball.
Once again, took the one of the most difficult options to get a single. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the SLC think tank will do at this minute, because singles are going to actually be enough for Colombo Malle to run away with it. Whether they can bring another fielder in, put extra pressure on the batters, and also put a catcher in place, giving the batsman that we are trying to get you out. They can do that for the next 5-6 overs, and then they'll be there and thereabouts. 4 runs per over. That's all they require from this stage.
Yeah, the lowest totals 55 all out in 17.2 overs. Candy Customs against Army. 67 all out, 19.2 overs. Goal versus SSC. SSC also bowled out Navy for 85 runs in 19.3 overs. These bowled out innings that I was talking to you about. So they had to get a third under 100 opposition bowl out to win this game. Not likely at this stage.
Yeah, just lazy 5 runs, including the wide. That's all they require at this stage. Malle Cricket Club, 67 for 3 after 12.
Target is 101. 8 overs left. 34 runs is all what Malle requires. SSC's got a fairly big task. They need to get 7 wickets. We spoke about the game being much tighter than what the scores seem to suggest. Kosala, I still believe that. SSC got 2 quick wickets close to each other. And they'll be hoping that they can do the same thing here. Maybe a wicket or 2. But that's the approach you're looking for from the Malle batters. You're not looking to blast the bowling. You're not looking to hit boundaries. But it's a more measured, calculated, and these are the highlights. And
The three dismissals, Roshan.
yeah, this is the first wicket lost. And then look at this. It was a short delivery. Good catch in the deep. And then the next one was a brilliant delivery. Look how he was drawn forward. Brilliant piece of work by the keeper. So SSC will be hoping for some deliveries like that.
Surya needs to try and build pressure. They're coming back for the second. No. They decide against it. Good call. So Malle now gradually looking for the single, working around that. They're not, as you said, not trying to blast the bowling. SSC needs to try and push for another wicket or 2. Is Surya the correct approach to go by? That might be the question. We've not really seen much out of him. That's better.
See, SSC got to use the available resources. I mean, Balasuri is in the side because he's got a reputation. So he needs to live up to it. But on the other hand, Malle needs to be smart here. It's within their grasp. And if it is within their grasp, shots like that are quite safe. And they'll come back for 2. This is good running. What we didn't see from the earlier batters were that they were looking to take the bowling on. They were searching for boundaries of every ball. And when we all knew that this is not a surface for boundary hitting, it's a surface that needs an approach like this. So now I think there is some sanity in the Malle batting.
It's been a decent over by Balasuri, but it's not really troubled the batter. The batters have been comfortably working the single, pushing it, playing the bowling by its merit.
Kosala, it's not a surface, it's not a ripping turner. It's a surface that you need to be patient. See, it's a surface that you should look to induce batters to play false shots. Into the over, 13 done. Malle's required just 29 more runs, 72 for 3. So the likes of Nadishan, who bowls leg breaks, the brilliant delivery that had that wicket, you need to try and firstly be patient. You need to build dots. It's that kind of a surface where you play on the batter's patience. That's why I believe, Kosala, that the 101 SSC is defending is a little bit short, in my opinion. Maybe 120. Imagine if SSC had 120 at this stage. They're looking at another 50 runs. And how many overs do they have? They have 7 overs. So they're looking at maybe 7 runs an over. On a surface like this, 7 runs an over is a little bit challenging. But if you're looking at 30 runs in 7 overs, which is little over 4 runs an over, that will make the batting side breathe a little bit easier.
So at the moment, Colombo Malle breathing much more comfortable than the SSC. But now SSC will be very disappointed by the outcome of this whole thing. They came in as favourites coming into this final. But they're not really been. But credit to the Colombo Malle team, Roshan. They've done extremely well. They bowled well after winning the toss. They won a good toss, I would say. They put the SSC into bat. They picked up wickets at very crucial moments and always kept the pressure on the batting side. And SSC never really recovered from the situation that they were in when they lost those 3 early wickets.
Well, I put it down to good fielding. I mean, you can bowl well. You can have a good bowling unit. Now that is unnecessary. Yes, that's outside the line, but that's unnecessary. See, you can have a good bowling unit, but you got to need good fielding. I think Malle came up with some outstanding catches. Yes, I understand the intent there, but that's more like it. That's what Malle should be looking to do. Just keep playing risk-free cricket. Not that the last shot was unnecessary, but that had an element of risk. But that delivery, which is pitched in line, turning back, just working it down the leg side, is perfect for the Malle batters. 27 more runs is all what they require to create history, as it were. This will be a massive, massive moment in the history of Malle Cricket Club if they can win this and beat a side like the SSC.
Well, we were told that they were unbeaten coming into this final. So we want to really make a big impact. And this has been a good over from Samba. That's running away. Fielder is giving chase. They will just pull that back in, but they'll come back for 2. Malle will be quite happy with that. They've taken 4 runs off this over, 5 runs off this over. So that's good. Let's keep the scoreboard ticking. They'll make sure, this pair needs to make sure that they get within close range and not bring in, lose any more wickets. There you go. That one just pulled inside. Oh, that one turned. Now SSC will be expecting to see a lot more of those deliveries, but it's just beaten the outside edge, and the total will be 76 for 3 at the end of 14.
Yeah, we've seen the odd ball do that. Now, when the odd ball starts to do that, if you have runs in the bank, that will tell on the batter's mind. But you're talking of 25 runs in 6 overs. We're still talking of 4 runs and over. So it's a lot to ask for from the SSC side, defending a very modest 100. So this partnership should take Malle close, because I've seen a lot of sense, good heads on these 2 shoulders. As far as Malle is concerned, we haven't seen the batters looking to blast the bowling, but instead they have adopted a different approach. And now 25 runs, Malle will want to try and break it down to little targets. So maybe they get the next 5 runs and tell themselves we are down to 20, and then to 10, then to a single digit. So things like that go through a batting sides thinking, oh, that was almost off the off stump. Very nearly could have easily chopped it onto the stumps.
Well, that was really a very risky shot. And he didn't turn, he kept following the batter. Just a single. Now, SSC wouldn't mind them trying to play that type of stroke, but then again, as you said, they don't have much runs to play with. And SSC, they've not had the best of years in domestic cricket, isn't it, SSC?
Well, they had a bad year last time, but I think they were depleted also because they kept losing a lot of players to the national cause. But still, SSC has been a club that has withstood challenges like that. Easily one of the best clubs in the country, and they'll want to get back to their past glory.
Oh, yes, boy!
So they did play a lot of first-class cricket. They have produced some outstanding cricketers. They'll want to continue doing that. And see, what I take my hat off to is the SSC side. Swung away on the leg side. Why I say I take my hat off, now that's good fielding. They'll come for 2. If you look at this SSC side, yes, SSC got demoted to Division 2 or to Tier B, which is not first class. Now the players had the option of leaving, but the entire team have stuck by the SSC. That's good fielding. Stuck by the SSC and stayed and played. Because you got to understand, Kosala, in the current scenario, that's not good. That's not good. That's poor cricket. That's gone for 4. That's a welcome boundary for Malle. They needed that. Let me quickly finish the point I was trying to make. I'll let you talk about it next over, because see, when a club gets demoted, it's the club that gets demoted, not the players. The players have the option of moving around, but the club gets demoted largely because of bad play. So who does the bad play? So that's why I'm saying hats off to the SSC cricketers for staying on when they had the option if they wanted to move. Last ball of the over. Well, 83 for 3.
That's a very good point, Roshan. Very well said. Yes, the players, they've all stick to the same side. They come and played their games as well. And despite having overseas duties, players like the national players, the A-team players. So this is the batting card. They've stuck with them. 86, 83 for 3.
Do you think it's striking distance for Malle? 18 runs more?
Yeah,
They
I think I
they
would.
got 5 overs left.
They got 5 overs left. They got 7 wickets in hand. I would now put the money on Malle.
Well, I think when SSC were dismissed for 100, definitely it was Malle's game. But losing 3 wickets close to each other brought SSC back. But yeah, at this moment, Malle should be the favourites with just 18 runs. And nicely worked away on the leg side. But as they call it, it's again a fumble. Fumble! What would the coaches say on a misfield?
Never run off a misfield.
Never run on a misfield. Never run on a misfield. So that was very nearly running on a misfield.
No, the difference has been with Malle and SSC. I thought Malle fielded very well. They held on to their catches. Their ground fielding was good. They cut the twos into one. But SSC, we haven't seen that. A slip comes in and that one turns. So that's what they're expecting. Well, if SSC are to get back into this game, they need to at least get 3 quick wickets, Roshan. There's no other way.
Yeah, this young man is a nice off-spinner, tall lad. Gets a lot of bounce. Goes nicely over the top. But then he needs to be consistent. That's why I would have liked to see a slip being placed with the left hand at least on strike. You persist with a slip. You try and create some pressure. I know it's easier said than done. It's easy to captain the side 60 yards away from what's actually happening. But if SSC is to win this game or to get wickets, now that has to be close. That has to be close. Unless it's the height. Deepal is a very experienced umpire, I'll tell you. It has to be the height.
It may be going over the stumps. That is the only thing that might have. This, mind you, this off spin is a tall lad, so he will get bounce. 50-50, I would say, Roshan, on that.
Very useful shot. This is the sweep against the off spinner. They'll get a single. So we are down to the last 4. Malle within striking distance. They need 15 more runs. They're 86 for 3.
So this is a nice story. 34-run partnership for the 4th wicket. Both batters with a lot of confidence, commitment and understanding. Playing with a lot of responsibility too.
There was an opportunity for SSC at 3 for 53. Door was open, but these two have batted sensibly. They have shown some composure, calmness about it, the way they have approached. Simply because they don't have to do a lot, have they? They just have to stick to the formalities, just keep their wicket in hand.
See, everybody is almost everywhere. If you want to pick up wickets, you've got to have fielders at catching positions. Can't afford to do that. These two are well set at the moment.
They're changing the bowling, Harita. They're going to the last roll of the dice, really. Pramod Madhushan from the Havelock end.
They didn't use Dinura Kalupahana. Gone. Pramod Madhushan brings in a lot of excitement.
Yeah, they wanted to get a wicket, but maybe not in that manner. But they will take it. SSC. The Madhushan was brought on to break the partnership. But this is how it happened. There was slight hesitation.
Kevin Samuel was almost colliding with the bowler. Direct hit. Brilliant work. That's the third run out of the match. So he goes for 18. 86 for 4 now.
Will there be another twist? 15 required. 23 deliveries. 6 wickets in hand. It's highly unlikely, but you never know. In T20 cricket, I've seen funnier things happen. If you're an SSC supporter, they'll be hoping. And that man on screen now, Madhushan, can he come up with some sort of a Houdini effort? Maybe 2 or 3 wickets in an over, like a Malinga effort.
Voshit Amarasinghe, product from St. Thomas's College, Matara. So one left-hander replaces another. So these Matara cricketers, they play that big match over 3 days. So they're fairly organized players, batting and bowling. Pramod Wickramasinghe, new ball bowler. Sanath Jayasuriya, opening bat. Well fielded. Travelled very, very quickly to Charitasa Lanka. So the coach, I believe Vadiba Pereira, said just don't be overawed by the situation. If the ball is there to be hit, hit it along the ground hard, hit it hard. Oh, he gets a boundary.
Yeah, that's neatly struck.
I'll tell you this, Kevin Samuel is out. Buddhika Hasaranga is batting. He's the one who scored the boundary.
Yeah, exactly the length he wanted.
He took
His
the
bottom hand coming off the handle, maybe because of the speed, but still had enough on it. Well, they are getting closer and closer. Colombo Malle. This day will be written in their club souvenir, Harita, I believe. Golden day. Another single.
See, if they win this and they are well on the course of doing that, it will be 15 matches over 2 seasons unbeaten. And they would have won against 2 Premier Division clubs in the last 2 rounds to lift the trophy.
Well, that's good form to have.
Tremendous. For the entire lot, Roshan Alang, who is the president, he's done well. The cricket secretary, Harun Musafar, the cricket manager, Falil Mohta, and of course the coach, Vadiba Pereira. Great work. The entire squad that have done well. There's Dhananjay Edrisinghe, Sachin Godaman, Dinitha Prabhanka, and Sasika Chandira, who were the substitute for this game.
Yeah, they say nothing beats a winning habit. 12 games, did you say?
15.
15. T20 format.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
See, they're the defending champions.
It's a long streak. Because if T20 cricket, anything can happen. You can have a bad day and it can be horrible at times, but nicely bowled. That's the ability Pramod Badushan has to bowl in that depth overs. Fast Yorkers, cutters. Well, he was brought in to get a breakthrough, but with the direct hit, he got the breakthrough. But SSC will need a lot more than that. Now, the target required into single digit.
So bringing this to me, I think Colombo Malle Cricket Club represents the not so popular, not so affluent individuals and clubs in segment B. And this will inspire a whole lot of others for the one-day tournament as well as the three-day tournament.
With the players list on paper, Haritha, obviously SSC came into this game with overwhelming favourite this morning, but well, they've had 12 months to forget, haven't they, as far as club cricket is concerned. They don't go long periods without winning silverware. It would have been some sort of consolation for them to win the T20 competition.
But their main target is to win the three-day game, then get the promotion. Everything else will fall to place after that.
Yeah, Roshan Abesing, I think, mentioned in his last stint that how some of these hierarchy players have committed themselves for the task, and it's nice to see, although that some of them represent the country at this stage, and they are contracted players with Sri Lanka cricket, but the loyalty and the commitment when it comes to club cricket, it's quite commendable.
Yeah, not only that, they would have probably been assured that their performances will be taken into consideration. You can't just drop them off just because they play in segment B. You got to consider that also. So that is the right decision on the part of the hierarchy of Sri Lanka cricket to give them that confidence so that they will play in the lower division but still be considered for national selection.
Well, if you're a good horse, it doesn't matter whether you're a handicap or a stake race or a Group 1 race.
We're not talking about the Melbourne Cup.
Nicely played. Just transferred his weight from the front foot to the back foot.
Shita Amarasinghe gets a couple, gets his team closer. They're one stroke away from winning silverware for the second time in this format, in this group. Sri Lanka Cricket Major Club Segment B T20 final. Colombo Malle Cricket Club against SSC at the Colombo Coles Cricket Club. They're getting their fielders in. I'm not seeing Dinuru Kalupahana bowl. Surprising. Malcha Fernando. For the supporters, the well-wishers, the service providers, for the Kompanya Media team, they'll be already celebrating now.
Yeah, they've got one hand on the cup. Just 2 runs required. Well, they feel they're already there. Why not? Well, they've been there and done it, haven't they, Haritha? You mentioned last year they won this championship, and
see, I was having a long chat with the skipper Sudha Radhakrishnan just before the toss. I said, see, I don't know most of you players, didn't hear most of them, but when you say Isipatana, the captain, the coach, and a few players who have been involved in school cricket where matches were covered, those names came up. Oshit Amarasinghe, Kevin Samuel, all of them. Buddhika Hasaranga. But there were a few others. Yeah, they were not known. And this is a huge fillip for all that. So Charita Salanka. His last over. Buddhika Hasaranga is doing well. I said the consistency of him through the season. You could see why. I only believe that I would only hope that the segment B, limited overs and 3-day tournaments, will also be covered to an extent by these people. I can see Anil Rudigamanagedara making his way through. He's coach of Colombo Coals, isn't it? That's it. Celebrations from the Compagnia Vidya outfit. Don't pick up the stump mic. Everything else is yours.
Well, like I said, they've done this before. They've been there and done it last year. But this is even sweeter because they were up against a very formidable T20 outfit in SSC, and some of the players from SSC represent the country in that highest level, and you know, it gives you a great satisfaction to beat the best. And well, congratulations to Colombo Malle. You have come against all odds, but well, the form is what matters, and the consistency that you've shown over the last few months. 15 games, 15 wins. There you are, champions of the Sri Lanka Cricket Tier B T20 Tournament 2025.
The Malay community in Sri Lanka will celebrate so much a tournament victory that has come with a lot of encouragement from a lot of people. Great story for him. Everybody who have worked towards this success will be very satisfied indeed. He started off very well, chasing a modest 101 runs for victory, and they were not overawed by the situation. That was a drop catch by Malcha Fernando, and Hiranta Jasinghe survived that. He provided a little bit of the initiation after that, hitting the ball to all parts. They lost wickets at regular intervals, but they never lost sight of what they were trying to do. Play some intelligent cricket, Gamini. You've got to give it to them.
Yeah, even when you see the batting highlights, you know, that was a poor option. Straight after that boundary, Nadisham bowled well. Yeah, it's quite safe to say that Colombo Malle Cricket Club have completely outplayed SSC in all three departments. You got to face the fact.
This was that last wicket. Pramod Madhushan getting Kevin Samuel. Before that, Hiranta Jasinghe. Shanaka Devinda. Kevin Samuel were dismissed.
So Tier B T20 final conducted by Sri Lanka Cricket 2025. SSC were invited to bat first. Avishka Fernando, 35, Kalupana and Dasun Shanak, the only two batters to get in double figures. You can make a case to pretty much every bowler when it comes to Colombo Malle. They were all economical but Ishibara 4 for 18 was the start. Sorry, yep. And then some of the stats that we need to.
This is how it goes. But not everything is pretty clear there.
Yeah.
They'll have to work on these areas.
Yeah. Malchan was, Malchan.
Malchan, he picked up 3 wickets.
3 wickets instead of 5. So, and then chasing 100, Ishibara 20, Asaranga 26, Jayasinghe 19, and Samuel 18. They all contributed, and at the end.
So it was a good team effort.
Yeah, it was a comprehensive performance, wasn't it?
It will give them so much of confidence. As I said earlier, beating Ragama Cricket Club in a tremendous run chase, and then 2 days later come back against the formidable Singley Sports Club and restricting them to just 100 all out with 2 balls remaining. That is also significant in 2020 cricket, and then chasing that in fairly consistent style.
So those are the scenes. Happy days for Colombo Malle SC, and we'll have a short break. On the other side of it, Roshan Abhisinghe with the post-match presentation.
Back to the Havelock Park Colombo Coals. We have just completed the Sri Lanka Cricket Major Club Segment B T20 final. We are ready for the presentation ceremony and hand you over to Roshan Abesinghe down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just seen a truly wonderful final for the Tier B T20 Championship. Well, it was a well-fought final, I must say. Low scoring, but still, Malle Cricket Club prevailed, and congratulations to them for winning the championship and winning it by 4 wickets. Truly memorable and a magnificent effort by Malle Cricket Club. So we are ready with the post-match presentation, ladies and gentlemen, and we are privileged to have Mr. Nalin Aponso, the Executive Committee member and the Chairman of the Tournament Committee of Sri Lanka, who will give away the awards. And let's start off with the player of the final. He will receive 100,000 rupees for his outstanding all-round effort of 2 for 21 and 26 not out. It's Kavinda Ishwara. Kavinda Ishwara of Malle Cricket Club is our player of the final for an outstanding effort. Brilliant effort, no doubt. Single-handedly taking Malle over the line with some outstanding cricket. He is our player of the final. Right, let's move on now to the tournament best bowler of the tournament. He receives a prize money of 200,000. It goes to Amita Kaushalya of Gaul CC. Amita is our best bowler. He will receive 200,000 rupees and a trophy. All right, time now for the best batsman of the tournament. He comes from United Southern Sports Club. He will receive 200,000 rupees and a trophy. It's Denwan Rajakaruna. From United Southern Sports Club, the best batsman. The next award is for the player of the tournament. He will receive 300,000 rupees and a trophy, and it goes to Avishka Fernando of SSC. Well, a consolation for Avishka Fernando for ending as runner-up, and he is the player of the tournament, and he will receive a trophy, and he's also the captain of the runner-up team SSC. He will receive 500,000 rupees as a cash prize. He will receive that too from Mr. Nalin Aponso. And then we will talk to Avishka. Avishka, මොකද හිතන්නේ තරංගය ගැන? ඇත්තටම මම හිතන්නේ ඔබ මේ තරඟාවලියට ඇතුල් වුණේ. කියන්නේ ෆේවරිට් ටීම් එක හැටියට නමුත් කොතනද වැරදුනේ?
ඔව් ඇත්තටම අද මැච් එක ගත්තොත් අපිට වැරදුනේ බැටිං පැත්තෙන්. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ අද ඇත්තටම මැලේ කණ්ඩායම අපිට වඩා ගොඩක් හොඳට සෙල්ලම් කරා. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ඒක.
මේ පළවෙනි වතාව ඔබ ටියර් B එකේ ක්‍රීඩා කරන්නේ ගොඩාක් වෙනස් ටියර් එකකට වඩා. ඔබ මොකද්ද දකින්න සුවිශේෂී වෙනස?
ඔව් ඇත්තටම ප්‍රථම වතාවට ටියර් B එකේ සෙල්ලම් කරන. ඉතින් අර සමහර ටීම් වල ඉන්නවා ගොඩක් හොඳ ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද තමයි මේ කණ්ඩායම් සමහරලාට මේ කණ්ඩායම් වල ජයග්‍රහණ ලබන්නේ. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ අද තරගයක ගත්තොත් අපිට වඩා හොඳට මේ කණ්ඩායම් සෙල්ලම් කරා හොඳට.
ඔබ වැනි කණ්ඩායමක කියන්නේ ඔබ ඉන්න ක්‍රීඩකයෝ දිහා බලපුවාම ඔබ තරගයට ඇතුල් වෙනකොට තරඟාවලියට ඇතුල් වෙනකොට ඔබ ජයග්‍රහණය කරන අදහස තමයි ගොඩක් අයට තියෙන්නේ. ඒක කොතරම් පීඩනයක්ද ඔබට?
ඔව් ඇත්තටම ගත්තොත් අපි ටියර් B එකේ ෆස්ට් ටයිම් මේ සෙල්ලම් කරේ. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම ලොකු ප්‍රෙෂර් එකක් තිබුණා. මොකද අපි ටියර් B එකේ සෙල්ලම් කරලා තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ටූර්නමන්ට් එක ඇතුල් වෙනකොට පොඩි ප්‍රෙෂර් එකක් තිබුණා. හැබැයි අපි ඉස්සරහට සෙල්ලම් කරන් යනකොට පොඩ මේ වුණා. හැබැයි අද තරගය ගත්තොත් අර අපි එන්නේ දිනන්න ඕන කියන මානසිකත්වයෙන් ඉතින් ඇත්තටම අපිට වඩා ගොඩක් හොඳට කරා මැලේ කණ්ඩායම.
Bad luck. All the best.
Thank you.
Right, Avishka Fernando, the runner-up, the captain of SSC. Time now for the champions. Let me invite the captain, Sudara Dakshina of Malle Cricket Club. He will receive 750,000 as a champion captain, Malle Cricket Club. He will receive the trophy and a cheque of 750,000. It's a very, very proud moment for Malle Cricket Club as they beat the fancied SSC, and they're also the champions of the Tier B T20 tournament organised by Sri Lanka Cricket. It's a very big moment, no doubt, for Malle and Malle Cricket Club. And let's hear from the winning captain. Sudhara, මොකද හිතන්නේ?
ඇත්තටම සතුටුයි මේ වගේ තරඟාවලිය. මොකද ගිය අවුරුද්දත් අපි චැම්පියන් වුණා. මේ අවුරුද්දත් අපි ආවේ ටාගට් එක එක කරන් අපි ඒක ඇචීව් කරා. ඇත්තටම සතුටුයි. මොකද මගේ කණ්ඩායම ඇත්තටම පොඩි ඒ කියන්නේ under 23 වයසේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය. ඒ කට්ටියත් එක්ක මේ වගේ ගමනක් ඇවිල්ලා මේ වගේ කණ්ඩායමත් එක්ක අවසාන තරඟ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ කිරීම ඇත්තටම සතුටුයි.
පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්නේ SSC වැනි කණ්ඩායමක් සමග අවසාන මහ තරඟයට ඇතුල් වෙනකොට ඔබට කොයි වැනි පීඩනයක්ද කොයි වැනි මානසිකත්වයක්ද තිබුණේ?
ලොකු පීඩනයක් නැහැ. අපි කරන් ආපු දෙම අපි ෆයිනල් එකේ ප්ලෑන් කරේත් අපි අඩුවට තියන්න. ඒක අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා ඒක.
ඔබේ සැලසුම් දිහා බැලුවොත් මොනවාද ඔබ කරපු සුවිශේෂී දේ? ඔබ කඩු ලබා ගත්තා, ඔබ කාසී වාසිය දින්න. නමුත් සැලසුමක් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන එක ලේසි නෑ.
අපි ඇත්තටම ඩොට් බෝල් තමයි හැමතිස්සෙම ඕවරේට ඩොට් බෝල් 3ක් 4ක් පාවිච්චි කරන මේ අපි යොදන් තීරණය කරා. එතකොට ඒකෙන් ප්‍රෙෂර් එක වුණා අනිත් බැස්මන්ලට. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපි
ආරම්භක පිතිකරණය දිහා බැලුවොත් ඔබේ පිතිකරුවන් උත්සාහ කරේ පළවෙනි බෝලේ ඉඳන් වේගයෙන් ලකුණු රැස් කිරීමට. විශේෂයෙන්ම ආරම්භක පිතිකරුවන් දෙන්න. ඒකද සැලැස්ම නැත්නම් මේ ඔවුන් පන්දුර පහර දෙන ආකාරයද?
නෑ ඔවුන් ඇත්තට මේ ඒ නිදාස අපි දීලා තියෙනවා. මොකද අපි ලකුණු 100ක් වුණාට විකට් එක එච්චරම හොඳ තත්ත්වෙ තිබ්බේ නෑ. ඒකෙන් පොඩි මන්දගාමී ටිකක් තිබ්බා. ඒ හින්දා අපිට පුළුවන් වුණේ ලකුණු සංඛ්‍යාව ලං කරගන්න තමයි අපිට ඕනි වුණේ.
අපි ඔබට සුබ පතනවා ඉතාමත් අගනා ජයග්‍රහණයක්. Right, the captain of Malle Cricket Club. That is indeed a wonderful performance by the Malle Cricket Club, and that concludes our post-match presentation.
Thank you, Roshana Bessinger. So, history-making repeat performance by Colombo Malle Cricket Club. Congratulations to them. Singley Sports Club will only gather a lot more encouragement to play the rest of the season in Segment B to the level that they are known to play. On behalf of our entire team, we say a big thank you. This was a groundbreaking first ever Sri Lanka cricket, domestic cricket coverage on the Sri Lankan domestic cricket. Our next assignment would be the Segment A T20 semi-finals. And then 2 days later, the final. Both matches will be played at Maitland Crescent. So on behalf of everybody, we say a big thank you whilst congratulating Colombo Malle Cricket Club for a wonderful performance twice over.